Do you want to do that? Do you want to do that now, or you want Matt? Do you want to wait till Matt gets back?
Yeah, I better wait for Matt. I'm sure he'll have some comic relief to provide.
Well, there's a couple of things going on. So I mean, that's one of them. That's an important one, but there's also other things as well. So.
Good, more side quests. That's what we need.
Side quests, yeah.
I go down the rabbit hole. I never finish the main quest of the game because I'm always doing the side quests.
So in this case, I'm as the DM, I'm pushing you towards an all side quest campaign. Basically, it's just side quests.
We're gonna wait for 11 and a half months before you do anything for Mike's soul.
And then all of a sudden, I'm gonna wake up
like
one day.
2 weeks left.
I'll be like, "Holy crap, dude! We got 2 weeks. Let's go."
Yeah.
That'll be great.
What could go wrong?
Okay, guys, we need to run.
Yeah. Okay, it takes a month to get there. Oh man, we should have thought of this earlier.
If that's the case, you're going to see him grab a bunch of potions and say, "I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks." A bunch of restoration potions, and don't bug me.
Yep.
You die in peace.
Well, Mr. Bond, I see you've entered my inner sanctum.
Is that a bunny?
Welcome, Inspector. No, it's a 15-year-old pug.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
He's trying to breathe.
Yeah, he's part gremlin.
You fed him after midnight, didn't you?
Yeah.
What's his name? What's his name?
Oh, that's Sebastian. Seabass for short, as in kick his ass, Seabass.
I like it.
Yeah, you never have too many Dumb and Dumber references in your household. How you holding up, Les? You good?
I'm good, except my oddball is all scrunched up. I did something to it this morning when I was sleeping, and it's been bothering me all day. So if I start crying, I don't know if she's poking me in the eye or anything like that, for coming in. But
that's what I told her to do.
Yeah, I think she did. I woke up
3 days of RPGs. Poke.
She got me right in the eye because it's been bugging me all day.
Sorry,
but of
man.
course, I can't go anywhere near a hospital. All right, so Gordon, you wanted to open tonight with a discussion of some information that you received since last time. By all means, take the stage.
Special news bulletin.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon,
are you frozen?
Gordon's frozen.
He went off video, so he's probably having challenges out there.
They're trying to give us a special message. They took him out.
It's the government. They're shutting us down.
Government. We're on Zoom, so it's the Chinese government's doing it.
Big grapefruit.
There he is. He's back. Gordon, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
Oh, all right. All right. So I was just saying that you came into some information between last time we played and now, and so I know you wanted to talk it over with the party. So by all means, take it away.
Okay. Are you there, Matt?
I'm right there.
He's got again.
He's within hearing distance.
Okay. So Bartos was concerned about getting his spell book back because
Okay, I'm back.
it seemed strange to him that the Vang would just leave it. I mean, granted, he used it as a lure for us, but still, I felt like there might be something wrong with it. So I kind of did a little research, and Les basically gave me a bunch of shit about it.
More artifacts, though.
Gordon, I'm sorry. What was the lure of what was?
Well, when Bartos was captured by Xanther Vang, he lost his spell book. Xanther Vang kept it, and one of the lures I don't know if you even remember, but when we were in the canyon, Bartos' spell book was laying on the
Just
floor.
laying there.
It was
laying with the basilisks.
Yeah. So anyway, I started a conversation about that with Les to see if anything would come out of it, and basically he said that Xanther Vang messed with my spell book, made it better, which is weird. Like
Better, yeah.
Improved the spells and just did little tweaks to make everything more efficient, which seems like the way his personality is. He's a very creative type of person. Evil as hell, but creative. So, but anyway, the other thing that I found in the spell book was a little message that wasn't there before. He apparently teleported in this message into my spell book. And Bardos is not the kind who would like do subterfuge or try to hide this, or certainly not follow up on it, because the message was that Xanther wants to work with Bardos, make him an apprentice. And here's the note said, Bardos, I would like to cordially invite you to join the Black Adepts. Draw this rune. If you accept this, there's a rune on the paper too, and you will be transported back to me to become my student. So I suspect the rune is specific to Milas. Would that be like magically? It would be. We couldn't use it to like send anybody, right? It's just going to be.
Yeah, it would just be from your. Yeah, I mean, basically your knowledge of magic and stuff like that would. Yeah, it's a personal thing. You essentially would take your finger or and just draw the rune in the air. And copy it from the book, and what would happen is that there would be a there's a couple of things that could happen. Either it's like a teleport rune where it would just like a port key in Harry Potter where you touch it and you go, or it would open up a gate of some sort that you could walk through and be to wherever he is. But apparently, at least the tone of the note would be like that. It's keyed to him personally, maybe, rather than a particular location. But you don't know that for sure.
Oh. And have you I think you were saying you speculated you can't have somebody like hanging on to you that go with you.
I'm pretty sure not. I mean, I don't know that we would want to do that anyway. Bardos is certainly. I mean, if Bardos is an android, he doesn't have emotional fears. But I mean, if anybody could make Bardos afraid, it would be this guy. There's no way in hell he's going to use this rune.
All I can see is maybe having you put in your hip pocket for 11th hour thing while we're already engaging him, and you appear at the last moment to put the shank in.
Yeah, maybe I could be a rogue for a few seconds. Yeah, that would be fun. Like that would happen. But so anyway, I just want to make everybody aware of that. I mean, this guy's definitely tracking us. He's tracking he's scrying on Bardos. I don't know how often. I mean, scrying it's not like you can watch somebody 24/7, but he's definitely keeping his eyes on me specifically, and through that the party. So just something to be aware of. I mean, it's not like it matters. Even if we make plans, we're just going to go through the front door and basically knock anyway. So
that's how we roll.
I always count on it. That's why I put all my guys right up front.
So wait, I came in late. Gordon's a Blackfire adept, and we need to attack him now. Is that what's going on?
That's rolling up a new character. He's joined on Xanther's side, and this is his way of saying goodbye.
But he's got a cool boss.
If anybody wants to be a Black Adept apprentice, now's a great time to make that shift.
He's got a boss that's made out of maggots. That sounds like lunch would be a bad time every day.
That sounds like my boss, actually.
Okay, so for the record, we've got a drow and a Black Adept android, and Farina still met at Gatto.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Duh.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, so in addition to that revelation, which I mean, as Bardos is sort of telling you this, and you're like, he did what? He teleported a piece of paper, a scroll into your scroll book, into your spell book, and yeah, I mean that's kind of what it is, because it wasn't there before, but it is now, and then invited Bardos to sort of join him, which is a very strange kind of thing, because he did like torture Bardos a fair amount while he had him.
Well, we were just in there like wiping out his entire compound.
It's like pledging a fraternity. He was just, initiating Bardos before.
It was hazing. But you guys are also, I mean, right now, you guys are probably, I want to say it's something like, if I recall correctly, like 6 hours to 8 hours travel away from the Ivory Temple.
We're about 6 hours. Yeah, we went. 6
about
hours
6 hours, and you're hunkered down in the
rope trick or whatever.
The rope trick thing that Farina can do, and you've been there for most of a day, the better part of 24 hours. You've been in this thing, so you've got your spells back. You guys have healed up, but a couple of things. So this happened. So Bardos is like, look, I have to tell you guys this. I've been invited to join the Adepts, so I'll see you guys later.
Easy, guys.
Yeah, take it easy. It's been a slice, but also you guys know what Ilindar told you, which was like he was in contact Storm, and then he realized on the basis of the questions that that Aristel was willing to answer that Jerebeth was not what she seemed. So, Mike, if you want to do a quick and dirty summary version of what happened there, that'd be good.
It's the email I sent out. Basically, yeah, I went basically to tell Storm that, hey, you need to, don't take them into the Citadel, just drop them off out front. And I was about ready to tell her, and after you drop them off, go inside, but I didn't even get that far. Like as soon as I said drop them off out front, could sense something was wrong with Storm. So basically I've got an ability where I can, for a little while, see out of, basically use Storm's senses. So did that, and could basically see this huge pincher pretty much around Storm's neck. And then the demon said, tell your master I've got a proposition, and then just closed the pincher and killed her.
Yeah,
and
basically
for a few seconds I saw the two pieces of Storm and the two guys that, we were given a ride back.
Man, those poor bastards.
Yeah, they just
couldn't get a break.
Also, the demon appeared behind them and killed their ride that was probably 1,000 foot up in the air.
It's like that last scene in the Dirty Dozen. Hey, we made it out. We're all alive. Bam.
Yeah.
That's
kind of what happened.
So yeah, and so Storm's not exactly small. I mean, she's not palm sized. So for a pincher to get around, she obviously has a serpentine sort of, dare I say it, draconic.
I was going to say, like I said, use the, you've seen How to Train Your Dragon, you've seen Toothless. That's pretty much what she looks like.
Right. So to get a pincher, and this would be Illendar telling you this, I mean, to get a pincher around her neck and just like sort of close and slice it off, which is essentially what Illendar describes, the pincher itself would have to be 4 feet, 5 feet across.
Yep.
So that's big. And
if she was that big, why didn't she reveal herself and kill us when we were on the ropes?
Well, if you remember the questions that we had, we asked, after we found out that she was a demon, we asked if she meant us harm, and the answer came back a dedicated no, she doesn't mean us harm.
Yeah, I guess. You're right.
She's after the succubus.
Well, that's pretty much the main reason why Illendar did not want to send him in there, because,
it would put her at risk. I just pulled up the 87 questions that you guys asked.
That was like the.
It was actually 87 questions. I counted them. And here's the.
How many of them were really though?
Most of them.
Only 3. No,
Only 3. That was number 87 was really? Yes.
We're about Gato.
So the portion where you guys are talking about Jerebeth starts at question 18. Or 17, where it goes, are all the refugees innocent? No. Is Princess Jerebeth an enemy? And the answer was, you couldn't answer that yes or no. Is Princess Jerebeth dangerous? Yes. Is she planning on attacking, killing, or harming us? No. Is she dangerous to Xanthir? No. Is she the Keymaster? That was a Matt. The answer also no. Should she drink the potion? That was a Don. No. Did she drink a potion from Xanthir? No. Is she who she says she is? No. And here's where we get it. Is she dangerous to us? No. But I said rephrase that question. Is she a danger to us? And the answer was no. Does she mean us harm? No. Would she sleep with me? Gato asked that one. No. Does she intend to betray us? No. Does she want Xanthir dead? No. Will she stop us from killing Xanthir? No. Is she evil? Yes. Are the other 2 survivors evil? No. Didn't we check her for evil? Yes. She got around flashcards to detect evil? Yes. Does Xanthir know she's evil? Yes. Is she Xanthir, which was a Gordon question I thought was a really good question? No, she's not, but that was a great question. Do the elves know she's evil? No. Is she a magic user? No. Is she a human? No. Is she an elf? No. Is she a demon? Yes. Will she harm Storm? No. But that was when you were asking the questions, that was true. Will the demon barrier stop her from approaching Dresden? No. Will she harm anyone at Dresden? I said I couldn't know that. Initially, the answer would be no. Would she harm Arushale? The answer was yes. Is there a significant, and then we go into the traps in the fortress and stuff like that. So basically, the only thing there that has flipped is, will she harm Storm? And at the time the question was asked, it was not her plan to harm Storm, so the answer was no. But as Ilindar pointed out, she was able to determine that Ilindar was talking to Storm telepathically, and that was when she acted to hurt Storm, to kill Storm. So now that's only been like an hour ago in game time. So you still have another 24 hours before you can get Storm back. That's correct, right, Mike?
It's basically just the next day. It's not a
The next
24 hour, but it's just pretty much the next day.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So it was. So that's that's how that sort of took place. And then you don't know what's going on. Now you do know that you killed a lot of people, Blackfire Adepts,
Which is why he's recruiting
Templars, Minotaurs. Bardos, I don't know that you would interpret like he's looking for replacements. I guess, since Bardos is the only one who's ever really spent any time or even met Xanthir amongst you, that's Bardos. That wouldn't be the impression that you're getting, that he's come to you because he needs replacements. Your guess, knowing what you know about Xanthir, is that he wouldn't necessarily care about that. That he would be looking for mages of note that he could recruit in a general sense. It's not like, well, these guys killed a half dozen of my adepts, I need a half dozen more.
No, Bardas is a very intelligent, unemotional person, which I'm sure will be attracted to him.
Yeah. He gave you, at first he was very fascinated with the fact that you were an android, which he had never really covered before. And so a lot of the experiments, which anybody else would consider torture, but they were really experiments, investigations, were to sort of suss out the nature of your androidy body, that kind of thing. But there were times when, now you didn't do much of the talking, but he would talk in front of you, and you got the impression, Bardos, that in many ways, from an emotion standpoint, he's very much, the idea you got was like, he's very much a scholar of magic, of alchemy, a variety of things. And that's what he cares about most. And frankly, you got the impression that, honestly, this whole like world wound thing where the demons are trying to break out and take over Galarian and all that, honestly, in the few instances that he talked about anything like that, you got the impression that he could care less about that kind of thing.
So he's like a pen pal with the Crypt Master, or the Ghoul Master, then probably.
Yeah. He's a little ghoul mastery. Not as friendly.
Matt, you have two connections to Zoom going. One of which is like booming everything you're doing really loudly. I don't know what it is.
Well, I think it's his dog making that noise.
Yeah, sorry about it. I switched over to my phone so I could put my headphones in. So I left the screen on. So I'll mute myself here. Sorry about it. Yeah, my poor dog is emphysemic.
So you guys are still so that's where we sort of start. You guys are still hunkered down in large part, in this rope trick area or whatever it happened. I can't remember the name of it, but you got another 24 hours, another day or so before, Ilindar can resummon Storm. What are you going to do?
Canasta.
Anybody got a deck of cards?
I'm going to pray to Iomade for some guidance on this bad boy. This is a big bad here. She might have a little more than her normal. Kill them all and let me sort them out.
So is this like a
potion?
Yeah, is this an official prayer, or are you asking for guidance, or?
I'm not asking for any favors. I'm asking for guidance.
Okay.
Any way I can put this big bad in the ground. In your name, Iomade.
And you don't really. Obviously, she doesn't. There's no sort of, the clouds part, and Iona comes out and like, "What do you want?" That kind of. Of course, it's a good idea.
Of course, it's a good idea.
But in every movie, it's supposed to be a dream sequence.
And it is. It does come to you sort of in when you're dozing and sleeping, kind of trying to pass the time and resting up. it's not so much a message, but it's very much a nonverbal kind of thing. You find yourself, walking paths with, people you recognize, Iomedeans of yore and various kinds of things. And as you're walking, you sort of see the person next to you, who's not Iomade, but somebody you recognize from the Pantheon, saying, and they basically say something along the lines of, look, the path that you are on is the correct path. The Liberator knows the Iomade knows your name, and she approves of what you're doing. The future is very muddled and hazy, but the parts we can see are very different. The path that you are going to walk is very different from the path you have walked before to get to here.
These are like Dylan lyrics. I got to write these down.
Yes, but it's like, but it is all the same path, and it is all one path.
We need a bard up in this group. All right.
And that's all you got.
Thank you for that guidance. That's good enough for me.
Don't mention it.
I'll do my my regular obeisances and whatnot, and get ready to whoop some ass. Clean up Radiance real nice.
Okay.
Control the area.
Does anybody? What are the rest of you going to do during this extra day? I mean, you can study, you can rest, that kind of thing.
I'm making a magical item.
I just want to stay here and not go back to the temple before you guys have Storm back with you.
I'll clap Lothar on the back. Hey, great! Isn't it great to have Storm back? I mean, I know being dead all the time was really stressful. How's she doing, Ed?
Eleanor yelling from the other side, too soon.
Too soon. Cut it out, guys. That's mean.
I'm working on a magic item to be determined later.
Okay.
Fletcher's gonna
So you're sort of huddled in the corner, like with a piece of wood, and you're carving it, that kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Now and then looking behind me and laughing maniacally, and then just.
They'll pay.
Ilendar seems fine. He seems fine.
He seems normal.
Yeah, he seems normal. Yeah.
I'm not Ilendar, yeah.
All right, so the day passes pretty uneventfully. I mean, there's a time when you guys have to sort of redo the spell elapses. You have to jump out and you kind of look around the world. When you don't see any creatures flying, it doesn't look like. I mean, as far as you can tell, you're not being searched for. Farina puts together another one of the things. You guys pop down very quickly. You don't want to, as Bartos pointed out, Xanther certainly can scry him, although it's not all the time. It can't be 100% of the time, 24 hours a day. So you guys get back into the extra dimensional space as quickly as possible, just to make sure that there's no void. That said, even if he was going to scry, you're out in the middle of the world wound somewhere. There would be no way. I mean, scrying doesn't come with a GPS. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you can see around us, but you would see barren, generic world wound.
Yeah, the general wasteland-like environment of the world wound. And then the next day arrives, and you guys can see Ilendar start to conjure Storm, and you're like, wait, this is a small room. Don't conjure in here. And so you can go up to the you can go out of the extra-dimensional place. Yeah, out of the extra-dimensional place.
Ilendar, bring forth the dragon.
You can summon. I don't have the slap sound ready. Stop doing that.
I was hoping you didn't hear it.
Oh, we heard it, and most importantly, Storm heard it.
But another plane of existence, she heard it.
Yeah.
You have to you have to go outside to summon Storm.
Okay.
There it is. Summoning Storm is an outside activity.
Take this outside.
Like playing ball in the house. But yeah, so the next day, it's been a couple of days now. You guys are getting a little ripe in there, and so frankly, even despite the idea that Xanther might be scrying for you, it's nice to breathe a little fresh air, even if it is world wound air. But you guys are out. What do you do?
I summon Storm.
I make sure that Vrock isn't anywhere around, right?
Yeah, you look around. Give me a perception check.
Oh crap! All right, get that right. Mhm. Don, by the way, thank you for that macro thing. I've been meaning to do that for some time. I
Oh,
appreciate you sending that.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Now I'm hearing myself echo.
All right, 30. So yeah, I mean, you're scanning the skies as Ilendar is doing the ceremony, the ritual to bring Storm back, and you do not see the rock, at least the one that you saw before. So
There's
you
6
don't-
others, but you don't see that one.
Yeah, that one's gone. There's other ones. No, I mean the skies are empty.
Okay.
You don't see anything as far as the horizon.
Thank you.
Not in the air, anyway.
Not seeing the burrowing tunnel worms that are coming.
The bullet swarm.
bullet swarm.
All right. So, I mean, are you guys going to go back there?
Let's go for some battle.
I thought we were going to the castle.
Like going back
No,
to
no.
Dresden, or
I think that ship has sailed.
Okay,
It's
where are
time
we
to
going
kick-
then?
I think it's time
No,
to
I
kick
thought
we
in
were-
the Anthervang's teeth.
Just Anthar.
I thought we were in a clean house. I thought there were a few more left.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
climb out like a pick.
Yeah, we got to go find Maggot Boy.
Maggot Boy.
Oh,
All right.
one thing. Remember, we burned the whole inside. So I don't know if we need to create some face coverings or whatnot.
It's been 2 days. It's all
Or
burned
have
out.
that breath of fresh air spell ready with that gust of wind.
As long as it's from a spell, I don't care.
The holy Febreze.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are heading back to the Ivory Temple.
Yeah.
Clean house. All right.
And we remember we found the secret door, right? Do we want to do a 2-prong attack?
No.
Yes,
One
split the
of
party.
the questions was, would it be better to go in through the secret door? And the answer was no.
No.
Thank you, Mike. I forgot that.
So we're not going in that way.
Yeah. No tactical advantage for doing that.
Yeah, that's what it was. A tactical advantage.
Secret door is
Okay.
exit only.
So
It's positioned in the rear, though.
yeah.
Okay. So
There's two of us on the saddle and the rest of us kind of like helicopter style on the storm.
Okay. So just so you guys know, this is a great visual, sort of like the double saddle, and then the rest of you sort of like, an
Basically.
aliens space marine, you'd be getting held by storm as you guys fly across the thing.
And we
But
have
yeah, so you
previously determined Lothar don't surf.
So you cross that 6 hours of terrain pretty quickly, actually, especially with storm there. I mean, you guys walked it the first time. Now you're flying back,
Right.
so you cross it very quickly, and you do a quick circle around of the canyon that leads down into the temple. You don't see anything. In fact, very weirdly, you don't see anything. Because you'll remember the bodies of the basilisks and everything were in that sort of approach area. As you do a flyby and go over there, you guys are looking down and you don't see those bodies there anymore. You're not sure what's going on. So you come in, I'm assuming, for a landing and then walk down into the ravine, or you're going to go just plop right there at the front door.
Wherever the big red X is.
Yeah,
right,
what's the LZ?
I'm gonna put you in the approach area.
Like right here.
Yeah, like right in there. I'm gonna put you in there. Hold on a second.
Let me know if I can do any recon stuff for you guys.
I think that's an excellent plan.
All right, you guys
And
touch down.
At some point during this, I'm going to let Ilendar know that I have that spell memorized.
What spell?
Now
Breath of Life.
Oh, Breath of Life. Okay.
that we're here, I'm gonna update my hit points to max again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Real quick, if you guys have hit point changes, go ahead and take a peek in there and just make sure that everything's up to date.
Am I still level 9? I think I am. I don't think we
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't got experience points for a while.
So we're just gonna like roll initiative
You
right
gave
off
it to us. We just didn't level.
Well, so give me those of you guys in front. Give me a perception check, or everybody can give me a perception check. You guys come down for a landing.
I see it.
Look at those perception checks.
Look at
Holy,
these perceptions.
holy crap!
It's not like we didn't expect there to be crap here. Come on.
Yeah, we came in kind of expecting.
You guys landed. There they are, right there.
Should have had bonuses to
You
it.
shout out to him, hold on, we're getting our stuff together. I'll be right there.
So you guys launch, and even Flashart, who's looking the other way and sort of adjusting, he's like, "Oh, that was a heck of a flight, Oh, what are you guys looking at? Oh, look!" Even he sees him. It looks like, and you just at the edge of your vision over there, over by what you guys would remember as being the front door that you guys went in last time, look to be two humans dressed in Templar garb, and they're just standing there, sort of like in front of the door.
Should we call out?
Excuse me, I dropped a bow when I was here last. I'm just here to retrieve it.
Andy Graham.
You guys don't say anything. They don't approach. They don't even, I mean, those of you who got, like Ilindar has, did a nat 20 on his, and Fletcher got a 33. You guys drop, I mean, legitimate, you would expect these guys to sort of come at you or do something. You don't think
Can I sense undead?
You don't think they even turned their heads to look at you.
Do we think they noticed us?
This is probably an illusion then.
What was that you asked, Matt?
I said, can I sense undead?
I don't know. Can you sense undead as a paladin?
No.
Yeah, well, no, I thought I
You
did.
detect
no?
evil, but these guys are
You
evil.
detect evil, but you have to be
Yeah, that
closer.
won't help.
And that doesn't necessarily mean they're
But
undead.
yeah,
or
they were
anything.
evil before. They'd be evil as undead. So
I'm
Does
going to
that
ask
make
the party if should we say hello, and I knock an arrow in my bow.
yeah, I would say Farina should say hello while the rest of us view the results of her diplomacy.
Like a Glasgow kiss.
And I need
It's a
my
Farina
bird.
hello.
Les, I need my bird.
Where's your bird? He's right behind you, isn't he?
Oh. I need to blow
Yeah.
up this screen. I'm apparently getting old and blind. There he is.
There he is, right there.
Never mind.
I will take aim at the one on the right.
So fire away.
Okay. You're just gonna plunk him,
Mm,
and he's within one range increment, right? Oh,
Yes.
So I fumbled, but I didn't confirm.
yeah. So ka-ching, your arrow hits off of the stone of the side wall of the canyon and
and then
breaks.
you're done. Okay, well that's just my hello. I could have
Yeah.
hit you, but I didn't. But that's the
Yeah.
look I will have on my
Well,
face.
so even more interesting is you shot that arrow, and it didn't. I mean, it
It
didn't
had to
miss
hit
by
close.
much. It hit the stone, and the arrow itself broke. That kind of thing. But the rest of you watching to see what would happen, these guys didn't move a muscle. They didn't
Les?
flinch. They didn't do
All right.
anything. Yeah, I saw it.
Les, now I'm going to detect evil on them.
Can you detect? What's your range on that?
60 feet.
All right, so Gatto's going to shoot as well.
Yeah.
All right, so you use a short bow, right, or longbow? Oh,
Longbow.
Longbow. All right, so Gatto's like, hey, let me take a chance at it, and you can see he sort of like lines it up. And are you shooting the same guy, the one on the right?
Yeah.
Okay. Shunk. The arrow lands in his thigh, in the top of his thigh, and it stays there, and it sticks in his thigh. You can't really see if he's bleeding or not from here, but again, he doesn't even flinch.
No reaction.
No
think-
reaction at all. He has
So
a
if it
buckle.
was an illusion, it'd go through him.
No,
So
Well,
not
not
necessarily.
necessarily. What if it was illusion now because Gatto has interacted with it, he would get a will save.
so does he get a will save?
If he wants to, sure. I'm not asking for one. Looks like he looks like he's still there.
I hit him in the leg.
It's in the bone. It's in the bone.
It's in the boat.
Did
Yeah,
anybody
doesn't
put
flinch.
buffs on? Did I miss buffs? I stepped out to start my dinner. Did anybody put buffs on?
No, I haven't personally cast anything.
I did major armor.
I'm gonna put my bark skin on, and I've got gravity bow running.
Okay.
Storm's got mage armor.
I'm going to throw a little pomade in my hair and make that mullet really shine.
Mike, you want Storm to go up and just
Smack them?
smack him?
Yeah,
It's a trap. We need to find out how it's trapped.
right. Okay. Storm's
All right.
gonna
Cover
climb
them
up.
in explosive
Is
rooms.
Storm flying or?
No. I'm doing this in case Les wants to interrupt me.
Okay. So Storm approaches on foot.
She's pretty much in battle stance. Like
Yeah,
she's
head
ready.
low,
Ready,
kind of
ready.
like.
she's ready to do something, but she's just approaching them, kind of like a cat would almost.
So Storm doesn't remember much from the last time you guys went in this front door, other than after
She
entering
wasn't
the
around
front door.
much.
Yeah, she really wasn't there that all much. But she sort of walks up to these guys, and they're just sitting there. I mean, she could see the arrow stuck in this guy's leg, and there is some blood coming out, onto his armor. To her eyes, they look like those Templars. They're wearing their armor. What she will, and she talks to you telepathically, right? Or is she going, "Hey, Eladar"?
In a battle situation, she probably just telepathically talked to me.
All right, so she's saying these look like Templars. They're still armed, although they don't have their weapons drawn. They're just sort of standing there. But each of them has, she says, it has some sort of jug or cask strapped to its chest.
This is where we lose Storm for the third time.
Like a bottle. Some sort of like a bottle about like this big. And it's in some sort of leather sort of strap.
Okay.
And it's actually strapped, and both of them have them. She also says, "I see more guys
As soon
inside."
as she say that, I say back away quickly.
Okay, all right. Before
I
she
think
goes,
we
she
lose
says,
Storm for the third time.
She goes before she does that. She goes, "I see more guys inside the room, and they're sort of doing the same thing. They're just standing there. Their weapons aren't out, and they have these bottles strapped to them." He also says that they looked like, at least the guy that she got close to looked like he was mumbling something.
Yep.
She didn't get close enough to hear it or understand what he was saying, but it looked like he might be saying something. But it wasn't like it wasn't like he was saying something to her. It was just like he was saying something, like mumbling.
So I'm gonna talk to Farina and say, "Hey, you see that stuff in the front of them? That's actually a container.
Yeah,
Can you target that and see if we can make that explode?"
I'll do my best.
Because last time we had this happen, it was
Right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I'm going to shoot at the one on the left this time.
Okay.
and she's shooting.
And so you're aiming for the
called shot.
bottle.
At
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 21. That will hit. And you do hit the bottle. In this case, however, you can hear as the arrow hits it a sort of metallic ting as the arrow hits the bottle, and it ricochets off. So the bottles apparently are metal. You hit it though.
Maybe they have to pull, like a grenade. They got to pull a pin or something.
Got a magic missile we could use? Those aren't targeted enough.
I don't think magic missiles can damage non-living material.
I've got acid splash, and acid will eventually eat through metal. I'm gonna do some acid splashes at where she's smacked with this.
What's the range on that? You gonna shoot it from here?
No, I'm gonna have to move up. It's only 30 feet.
Okay.
45, actually.
Yeah.
Was it 45?
Like, get
Want
close,
a
get
bodyguard?
closer. Why don't you try 10
Yes,
feet?
please. I'll take. We can probably actually all move
Right
up.
next to Storm would be probably 45 feet.
Les would like you to move to 10 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
Ilindar, I'm assuming that you can see, and the door is open, by the way. The front door is open. The portcullis is up, and you can see into that main.
Yeah, I see 4 more.
Yeah, and they are all doing that same thing where they're just standing there. And from your distance, you could probably see, now that you know that you're looking for it, they all have these bottles strapped to them, and they're just standing there.
That mumbling.
Well, that one was mumbling. I don't know about the other ones.
Like, this job sucks. I hate it. I can't believe my mom made me get this job. Blah, 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 blah.
freaking bottle. Bullshit. What the hell?
Do an acid splash.
Okay. You do hit it. You do hit that bottle on that one, and you can see sort of the acid hissing on it, but it doesn't look. I mean, you're not sure if it's like eating its way through or what happened, but you're pretty sure you plopped some acid on that bottle.
That was Bartos trying to throw an acid splash, but he probably missed.
Yeah, he missed that one.
Okay, I'm just going to sit here and shoot acid at this guy until something happens.
The portcullis is down, right?
It's up. The doors are wide open.
Okay.
The doors are wide open. Fletcher, what skills do you have besides? What do you have any knowledge skills?
I do. I've got 2.
Stabbing, crushing.
Knowledge local and knowledge nature.
Ilindar or Gato, what are your knowledge skills?
Knowledge history.
That's it, huh? Ilindar, do you have any knowledge skills besides Arcana?
Arcana, planes, and religion.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can add add religion and nobility into that.
Bartos has a bunch.
And dungeoneering.
What are you looking for? Bartos has dungeoneering, nobility, geography, local, religion, planes, nature, arcana.
So Bartos, give me a dungeoneering roll, a knowledge dungeoneering. That would be probably the closest. Never mind.
Just Stone Cold whodunit.
All right, so Ilindar, you hit this thing with a couple more acid splashes, and Bartos moves forward, and he throws a few acids on the same guy. And ultimately, at one point, the acid, it doesn't look like it's eaten through the bottle, but it looks like it's eaten through the strap. And this guy is taking, I mean, there's acid on him, because you've missed a couple times and hit him, so he's taken some hit points of acid and that kind of stuff, but he hasn't budged. He hasn't moved or flinched or anything, but your acid eventually manages to eat through the leather strap, and the bottle falls on the ground in front of him and rolls a little bit outward into the sand, like 2 or 3 feet in front of him.
So it fell and nothing happened.
Fell and nothing happened. All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna get some more juice.
So it's possible that whatever's inside these things has to be exposed to air to act, and they're in metal containers.
Okay.
So do we
It's
have?
not important that they're around their necks.
Well, not necessarily, except for that makes it easier for them to pull the tops off if that's what's necessary. So like the grenade theory. So if anybody has, and I don't know that, I just take it for what it is. I don't know that it would work because it's so limited. But if you had Mage Hand and you could remotely pull the top off of one of these to see if it's contact to air that causes them to react. But Mage Hand's only good for like up to 5 pounds, so I don't know if that'd work.
It's a fairly big. I mean, the bottle itself is probably 2 foot long.
Does it have like a stopper or like a twist top or something on it?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, so what we're talking about is trying to
Mike, I
open the
sent you
lid
a
of
private
one.
message.
Yep, I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
the one you're looking at.
That's an option.
Yeah, you're looking at it. You can see, and luckily it is pointed somewhat to you. So the stem of it is pointed to you. It looks like it has some sort of, well, stopper, yes, but it looks like it's sealed, maybe with wax. Like it's got a stopper on it, and then that stopper has been sort of sealed into it with some sort of wax covering or something.
Like a Maker's Mark bottle.
Kind of, yeah.
Sorry to bring booze into it, but yeah.
I also wouldn't know anything about Maker's Mark.
Fine product of Dresden.
So
the dwarves there make a strong distillation.
we want to just kill all these guys, and then assuming if they're all dead, they can't do whatever they were going to do with these things.
I got something I want to try first real quick.
I think the way they're standing tells me that it's going to be a chain effect, whatever happens. Maybe it's explosive, maybe it's not, but that's why they're standing that close together.
So I'm going to move to there.
Where?
Into that little the little inlet there.
Yeah, and I'm going to cast Levitate on the guy here, this guy.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
going
going to do that. Don's drop him from orbit move.
Yeah, right.
So
That was in
okay,
B
so
team,
you
wasn't it?
cast
Leonard doing that?
levitate. And normally you would get a saving throw, and that's a will save, right?
Mhm.
There's no saving throw on levitate, actually.
No saving throw. Okay, so yeah, you cast.
If you're doing it on a enemy, there should be.
It
Hold on a
says none
second.
on the thing unless.
Wait, it could be that the range is self. No, it shouldn't be. You can cast levitate on other people.
You or one creature or one object up to 900 pounds. Lasts for 9 minutes. There's no saving throw is what it says. Let me look online though. That's what the sheet says, but it could be wrong.
Well, it says you or one willing creature or one object.
Willing.
I don't.
Keyword
Yeah.
there is willing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. In
So
this
if I-
case,
If I can't do the person
No.
that
I don't think he's going to have willpower.
I think he
He's
can. Yeah,
dominated
you
it
can
there.
do it. I mean, he may not be saying Bardos, hey, levitate me, but he's in no position, at least from your standpoint, to be unwilling.
You're like, I'm going to levitate you. If you have a problem with it, say something now.
If you have a problem with it, do 3 jumping jacks.
There you go. So you can levitate him.
All right. Well, I'm going to take him up about 1,000 feet, and I'm going to drop him.
Well, so he's inside the house. That guy. You're talking about this guy, right?
You'd have to do this guy.
Oh, I thought it was a courtyard. It's not.
I thought the courtyard.
No, it's roofed.
Oh,
Yeah, these are the only 2 that don't have a roof above them.
But levitate, you can pull him towards you and then lift him up, right? Levitate is not a skyrocket.
No,
You
levitate is up and down only.
yeah. Well, I'll do one of the ones. I'll do the one that's on the left side. Well, no, I'll do the one on the right that still has the.
Still has the.
I can attempt to lasso him or something if you like.
Okay. All right, so you're going to send him up, and it takes like a minute at these.
It's
20,
it doesn't. 20 feet per round. So 20 feet every 6 seconds.
Okay,
1,000
to
feet will
get
be a while.
to 1,000 feet, that's 30 seconds, 300 seconds.
Or so,
Is that
unless
right?
you got to take in wind drifts, air currents, deviation from target.
It lasts for 1 minute per level. So yeah, you could get him up to. It'll take a couple of minutes, but you could get him up to 1,000 feet if you wanted.
I don't need to get him that high. When do you reach maximum velocity when you're falling? I mean, after a certain point, it doesn't really matter, right?
I think it takes about. Well, hold on. How many?
All I know is D6 per 10 feet up per damage you're going to take on the way when you hit the ground.
Oh, it doesn't matter how high up. I mean, you can go.
I've never heard of a.
So
It's-
to hit terminal velocity.
Around 6 seconds, I think, but it's 1d6
normal-
per 10-foot fall.
It's about. It says about 12 to 14 seconds to achieve terminal velocity, which translates into 1,800 or 1,900 feet. So he would never reach terminal velocity, but he would still take a ton of damage when he lands.
Okay.
Essentially 500 d6. If you took him up 500 feet, I mean, I don't know if you want to take him up to.
No, that'd be 50 D6.
Right.
Oh, 50, yeah, 500 feet would be 50 D6, which I don't think you need that.
I'm more concerned with breaking the flask than hurting this person, though. So I don't know.
Well, so Illendar poured a fair amount of acid on that flask, and it did go through the leather, but it doesn't seem to have gotten into the bottle as far as you can tell from here.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking. Hitting the ground might crush it or open it or do something to it. I don't know.
Right.
Try.
I'm just curious what they're supposed to do. How they're supposed to activate this. And if it's them activating it, if we just kill them, does that neutralize the threat? Because literally, if they're not moving,
They're not moving.
Farina,
They're not even looking at you guys.
Farina and Gatto
They're
could
sort of just looking straight forward.
Well, what's it do, Les? Let's see what it does.
All right. So how high do you take them up?
I mean, I could take him. I got 9 minutes on the spell, so I'll try to get him to terminal velocity anyway, which is what, a couple thousand feet.
I wouldn't even
Okay.
do that. I wouldn't go more than 500 because he's going to die past that easily. Matter of fact, you get him to 250 feet and I'll probably die from that regardless. I don't think he's going to fall perfectly straight down, and I don't want him to drift over and land on us.
Is there a wind out today, Les?
I mean, it's always a little breezy in the whirlwind, but I mean, nothing that would push a guy around on a levitate. Nothing significant. I mean, it wouldn't. I don't think he would push it over to you. He may land 10 feet, here and there. Jennifer, are you sending me messages?
With your mind.
Yeah, I just forgot to give you the damage for the dude who's got the arrow in his leg.
Right side?
That's all. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do that. Thanks. I wasn't sure because I think there's ways that you can spoof other people. I just want to make sure it was the right person. All right. So you're going to lift him up. I don't think he'll deviate very much. And then let's just see what happens.
When you take him at 200 feet, that's 20d6. That's a ton of damage.
Well, we took him to 500. So that's 173 points of damage on the
Where
fall.
did he land?
He landed a little.
Kill him. Like 4 times over.
He landed about like a little closer, like over here, and he landed with a sickening smack and bounced a little. Actually, he is, as far as you can tell, completely dead. I mean, his arms are all broken. There's blood everywhere. That's a dead
The bag's
Templar.
dead.
I feel a little better.
Oh,
about
did I
that
kill the
one.
bag?
You
Sorry.
killed the bag.
That's not what I wanted
I'm
to
going
do.
to. I'm going to pray for his soul.
Well, he was a Baphometian Templar through and through, man. Essentially anti-paladin. So I don't know that your prayers are going to fall on.
He might be rethinking his future job choices.
Yeah, so he's broken, but you could see clearly the bottle is still strapped to him.
And the other guy outside, nothing.
Did not even blink. As far as you can tell, didn't even blink.
Did the guy scream as he fell?
No, silent.
The scream
From
is
the
for me
splat,
going,
is
oh
there a lot of
God, he's
blood?
falling.
Yeah, there's a ton of blood. I mean, he hit hard, bounced about 4 or 5 feet in the air, landed again, and yeah, I mean, his head is smashed in. His arms. It's obviously he's got a lot of broken bones. I mean, all the kinds of things that happen when you fall from a great height.
22 perception. He didn't yell anything. Did he flail at all?
Not that you could see. No, it looked like he just sort of like dropped like a stone.
They're yeah.
There we can summon an arrow elemental and just carry him away, get him out of the area.
Or if you're going to do that, have the arrow elementals grab all the bottles.
Right. Yeah.
I could do that.
Grab them both and carry them away. That's a great idea.
You guys want me to do that?
Yeah, I got.
And I can think of.
I want Illandar to do it because his elementals or his summoning will be last a little longer. And, huh?
You can do it with one summoning because mine lasts minutes as opposed to rounds.
Yeah.
Do you have to dispel Storm to do that though?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Storm has to go away, but I can.
Oh, does he?
In a minute.
Right.
We don't have to wait 24 hours again.
Right. No, it's just
Just
the ritual again.
the time you have to wait is if you can.
So is that what you guys want me to do?
Yeah, that's what I want you to do.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna
Maybe we
move
should
over here.
reform our lines.
Yeah, Barnos is going to.
Party.
Yeah, let's back up a little bit and reform lines and stuff. Actually, I'm just gonna leave Storm right here, but Storm is gonna go away when we start this.
How many hit points on those elementals when they show up? Remember?
Hang on one second.
What size and how many are you summoning?
That's what I was looking at.
Better protection from evil, purple.
It was, yeah, for
They need to
Lothar.
be minimum to pick up somebody.
Unless I'm going to send Baru out to kind of creep around out down the way we came.
Okay.
The secret door is to see if anybody's coming up behind us where he can warn me if something's happening.
He's gonna
Okay.
do a single large elemental, and he's gonna have 84 hit points.
What?
Cool.
He'll be able to pick up 2 at once.
Yeah.
Why can't do you see it? Why can't you see it?
See what?
Hold on a sec. Why is it not showing up?
Is it on the GM layer?
No,
Dynamic lighting layer?
no, you guys can't see it. It's right here. This is so weird. Okay. All right, hold on. I gotta redo it. Okay, hold on a second. All right, hold on a second. Sorry about that. I had one and it wasn't showing up. So very, very strange. Oh no, I'm turning into Steve. All right, it'll be just a second. All right, and it's large, you say?
Yes.
And 84 hit points. And you can see it, and controlled by Mike. Save. Good. There we go. Back in business. There. Okay. There's your guy. And you should be able to control him. And you should
Yep,
be
I
able
can
to.
control him. Yep.
Okay. So what are you going to use this for? I mean,
I'm going to send him forward to here to grab this guy's bottle.
Okay.
Bottle out here. And you said this is like off to the right here. This is like a cat. This is
Canyon wall.
Canyon wall.
It's about 150 feet up, 100 foot up.
Yeah, about that.
So basically, he's just going to take them up and deposit them 40 or 50 feet, you know, over the top of this.
Okay.
And
Like
then,
on the plateau.
So
on the
go
plateau,
100
yeah.
feet, over 50, down. Yeah, drop.
Yeah, and then just put them down.
Okay. All right. How long is he sticking around?
9 minutes.
For as
9
long
minutes.
as he wants.
For a while, yeah.
90 rounds.
Okay, that's a pretty long time. All right, yeah.
And
So
he
he has no
flies.
problem. He grabs the bottles, one off the ground, one off the dead guy, flies up, deposits them on the plateau, and then flies back down.
Right back down. And I say, go grab those bottles off of the two that are just inside the door and put those in the same spot.
Okay. He goes in, grabs those, and puts them on the thing. And he gets the other two. Yeah, they don't explode or anything.
Okay, then I have him to go grab the last two. Grab the bottles.
Okay.
Take them up to the top.
Okay, that will be just about all the time that he has. It takes a couple of minutes. To, he's a creature of air, so he has to get the thing is that they're strapped on and buckled on to these guys, so it has to take a moment to sort of like unbuckle.
Okay.
But he does get all 6 of them and take it off. He does also tell you that all of the way he says it is really weirdly odd, but he says all of the humans are speaking.
Okay.
Can you repeat what they're saying?
Like I said,
He can't. Yeah, no. He talks with Ilindar in sort of the language of love. Yeah.
Whatever language that is.
Aryan.
Languages I've got.
Yeah, it doesn't speak common. It speaks is it Avian? Aryan.
Yeah.
No, that's cute. I once had a woman. I had a woman who worked for me. She said, "I have a surefire way of getting out of jury duty." And I said, "Oh yeah, what is it?" He says, "Whenever they ask me what my race is on the little questionnaire, I always say Aryan." And he says, "She goes, I've never been called for jury duty once."
Never call her.
That's like ugly, but it works. Modern problems require modern solutions. All right, so then he will say, the task is done, master. The humans were all speaking.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All
Okay, we're
right.
saying,
And he
"Help me,
disappears.
help me."
Okay. Then I spend a minute to bring Storm
And
back.
then he comes back.
He's like, psych, I'm back.
Sorry, I forgot my coat.
A windbreaker.
my windbreaker. Oh, that's terrible.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. All right, yeah. So all 6 of those bombs. So these guys are, but the guys are still standing there.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, they're Templars. As we walk past them, several of our comrades have swords that can just be pushed through them.
Well, if they're talking, maybe we can.
Hear what they're saying?
Yeah, Baru didn't say anything. Unless he didn't.
No,
say
Baru tells you there's nobody coming from that direction. And he's looking very specifically. He was looking towards that secret door, the concealed area that you guys found before you left last time. He's looking there, and yeah, nothing went in, nothing came out.
Yeah, I'm going to keep Baru about 20 feet behind us, and he's going to be a rear guard while we're going into this thing.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So, what do you guys do?
I think I should be the first through, just the best armored and the most stand out. Most.
I was going to say, I think Storm should be the first one through.
Also very good.
Already lost her twice. All right. All right. You first, Storm.
Yes, but losing her, we get her back in a day.
Yeah, we don't get you back in a day if we lose you here.
Yeah, I don't think
you
we
have to
even
go back to
get
Dresden and ask that guy again.
I'm not sure he's going to be up for favors. We haven't even paid out the last one yet.
Yeah, we paid up the last one. Hey, can we get this again? I know we haven't done your last deal yet, but
Well, hopefully.
Okay, so
He emits a celestial sigh.
I will inspire the troops by telling them that I had a dream that we're on the right path. So
Storm hear anything there? Can she hear what he's saying?
Well, I mean, yeah, she's like what, 10 feet away or 8 feet away. Storm can't necessarily hear what he's saying because he's sort of mumbling under, that kind of thing. But she looks up, and the 4 guys that are inside, they're all. It looks like, and she looks back at the guy closer to her and looks back at those. It looks like they're all mumbling the same thing, like at the same time.
She still can't tell what it is.
She's not close enough. She would have to go within 5 feet of this guy and sort of like listen.
okay.
He's really not talking very loud
right now.
now she is. All right. So Storm speaks common, right?
Yeah, they're all part of the choir.
Storm
They're
actually
practicing.
speaks every language I speak.
So she listens very closely, and he's he's the guy is just sort of mumbling, and at first it's hard to hear, and she sort of leans in, and he keeps saying, "I am a 30-second bomb. I am a 30-second bomb. I am a 30-second bomb.
How about we
I
buy
am a 30-second bomb." And he keeps saying it over and over again.
I'm good.
Obviously
Butcher.
not.
Where you
Hang
going?
around for 30 seconds. What happens?
Nothing. He just stands there. You guys have been standing in this area for probably close to 12 minutes since you landed.
30-second bomb.
That's what he keeps saying. And as far as Storm can tell, that's what all 4 of those other guys inside are saying too. The same words at the same time. Like they all say it at once.
I'm a 30-second bomb. Well, let's let them blow up in 30 seconds.
Well,
you
we've
guys
been
wait-
for more than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
No, I mean, with like swords and whatever in there.
So you're just gonna, so the heroes of the crusade, you're just gonna murder these guys flat out.
Yes.
They are anti-paladins.
Murder the anti-paladins, yes.
Fletcher
All right.
raises his hand and says, "I got no problem with that."
Pick me.
They don't call me Fletcher the Murderers for nothing. Wait, who calls you that? Never mind.
Just everybody.
All right, so Flashlight, you go up and you basically you get close to this guy and you can see he's not even you're standing directly in front of him, and so you see his eyes are pointed in your direction, but he's not looking at you.
The lights are
Detect
on, but
evil
no
just to
one's
make
home.
sure these are the Templars, but if they are, just get rid of them.
Oh, I did detect evil earlier, Les, and I forget. I don't think we resolved it.
I think
wasn't
you were too far away. You're close enough now, though. He's definitely evil.
All right.
And so you just basically coup de grace the guy. I mean, just
Do I
slash his
need
throat
to-
with radiance.
Yeah,
Do
you
I
need
need
to
to
roll.
roll?
Just
No, he's
All right,
not
I'm gonna-
defending himself, and he just
I'm gonna-
falls to the ground.
I'm going to pull a Highlander
Just,
right
yeah.
off the head.
Well, he stops speaking, and
Did the air
falls to the
elementals
ground.
open the tube? I forgot the bottle.
No, we didn't open any of them.
Okay.
She just
They're
laid
just
them up on
all-
the top. They're all on the top of the plateau above, maybe 15, 20 feet away from the edge.
Okay.
About 50 feet away from the
Fletcher, maybe do you want to maybe move these bodies off to the side and as we dispatch them?
Happy to, sir.
All right.
You-
Storm will go and
Side
walk
by side,
between
I don't
them just to be mindful of other danger.
Okay.
Storm will do what?
Just walk between them and just
Okay.
keep her eyes peeled and kind of out front while you follow behind her and just dispatch them.
Yeah, Les, I'm gonna hit this one next.
Okay. You're going to be covered in blood as these guys. So you're as you kill these guys, basically, you're just stabbing them, and they are, as far as you can tell, still. I mean, they're not undead. Blood when you stab them, blood goes squirting out everywhere. You cut off their heads or something like that. There's blood all over the place. You're going to be pretty sopped in it pretty quickly as you go forward. But they again, as you step in front of them, you see they're all saying this: "I am a 30-second bomb. I am a 30-second bomb," in this low sort of mumble, and they don't make any indication that they're even aware of your presence as you sort of strike them
As I
down.
look to finish these last two guys, do Storm and I see anything
Yeah,
else of note in this room?
I'm sorry. What?
As I look to finish off these last two guys, do Storm and I see anything else of note in this room?
No. What you do see a little bit of is
All the bodies have been picked up since the last time we were here.
they're all gone. Now you do see that all the bodies, the giant pile of bodies that you left here 2 days ago, 2.5 days ago, are all gone. You can still see
these
the
guys.
marks on the walls where you had lit the fire. There's scorch marks, there's some soot. But from the point of view of the floors, everything has been cleaned up. Now, there's still obviously the stains of blood and various other fluids that come out of creatures when you kill them, but which are still sort of soaked into the floor, sort of dried on the floor. But the bodies themselves, all their accoutrements, all their weapons, all that stuff is all gone. The barricades are also gone.
The Xanther Vang must have those John Wick gold coins that he can call the cleaning service to all the bodies.
Well, you guys been gone for a couple of days.
Dinner for 48, please.
All right. Storm will say there's more up ahead.
Oh, jeez.
Bardos, give me another knowledge dungeoneering, would you, as you come in?
Unless for what it's matter, I'm piling them all up here.
All right. So you're dragging the bodies outside?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, I got a 2 instead of a 1.
Yeah, still not good enough. All right, that dude that Bardos dropped from a height, that was kind of a mess to move, Fletcher. He was
Snow shovel instead.
pretty busted up there. He had something like 50 hit points, and he did 173 hit points to him. So yeah, that's pretty solid. So Gatto, where are you? You're looking around for traps. 28.
No. My perception is I'm investigating these bodies. Do they have wounds that are other than what he just gave them to kill them now? I'm wondering if these are
the one guy you can't tell. He's a mess. But the other ones that were stabbed, one's got an arrow in his leg. The other one's got an arrow in him.
What I'm looking for is, could these possibly be the dead guys brought back to life and animated?
You don't see any other wounds on these. You'll even take a moment and sort of rip one guy's, like, they're wearing plate mail, right? So you kind of like pull off the cuirass and sort of look and see if there's anything and examine the armor. No, these guys have not been injured.
Okay.
Except for what you guys have done to them.
They're injured now.
Yeah, they're definitely injured now. What'd you say, Gordon?
I said they're not undead if they're bleeding. Undead don't bleed.
Certain types would, like ghouls would, but these guys don't give any indication that they are undead. As far as you could tell, they were living Templars that had somehow had something done to them that made them into this thing. And they kept saying that 30-second bomb thing, even as Flashheart plunged in the sword. Now, Storm will tell you there's more of them. She says there's more up ahead.
Okay, well, this isn't quite the combat I expected on the way in, but we still have to go in and take care of this.
Yet. It's not the combat yet.
Yeah.
This is only phase 1.
I'm sure everything's fine. We can just walk in and not worry about anything anymore.
Yeah, no, we're still going cautious. But yeah, definitely everybody be moving their icons up as we go. All right, Storm's gonna keep moving in slowly. Like I said, she's basically down in like a battlefield kind of stance, waiting to attack or be attacked by anything.
Okay. So she's like hunkered down, kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, you get to the, I mean, this is the room. Storm is now in the room, and I don't know that Storm actually got to this room last time.
Storm never got into this place at all. She died
Yeah.
outside.
So she's hunkered down, but you guys, as you move forward, Fletcher, you and Flashheart, you recognize this is where the big battles took place. This was where the giant pile of bodies was, and you know, Storm's nose twitches as she smells, and you can still smell the fire, the smoke smell that's in here. You know, they haven't got rid of that. It's still, you know how when, you know, if you go into a house that's caught fire at some point in the past, it still retains that smoky smell.
Mhm.
And it's similar here. You can smell the smoke. You can see the soot on the ceilings and stuff like that, but all the bodies are gone. Storm sees the steps in front of her, and you remember those steps is where the barricades had come over from either side, and you know, you guys found yourself caught in a crossfire, but they're not there now. Barricades aren't there. There's no people. Storm will say there's more people in a room sort of farther to the north.
She can see that, and she also sees a big creature.
Yes, she sees.
Which is going to give her pause. She's going to stop.
Because that's the one that killed her, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, you see another one of those big constructs. Now it is standing on so you remember in that room, it was like a sort of a chapel.
Yep.
And there's a big statue of Baphomet in there. And the big construct creature is standing on the plinth that the Baphomet statue is on, and it's just standing there. It's not moving forward or anything like that. But Storm
was strapped to it.
It sure does. A bottle about 5 to 6 times the size of the bottles that were strapped to the people, but of similar make.
I don't get what this is.
We might need archers because last time we couldn't go into that room.
Right.
Does this contract look damaged in any way?
No, it does not.
I think I'm trying to remember, but I think we asked, some of the questions we asked was how many more constructs do we have less? It was less than 2.
And we knew it was 1 or 2.
Yeah, it was less than 2 or more than 1. Or sorry, I'm sorry. Let me.
It was between 1 and 2. We knew that.
Yeah. It's 1.4.
Yep.
I would like to find a way of disabling the portcullis in the open position.
We know right here is where the thing is to raise and lower it.
Yeah, that's a good call, Gatto. I just don't get what this. I assume this is a trap that we're fully falling into. I just don't get what the trap is.
Yeah, neither do I.
So there was a portion of the questions that you asked Aristil through Lothar, and one of the questions was question 48 in this case. Is there a significant trap that could harm us on our way to capture Xanthir? Yes. Is that trap in the fortress? Yes. Is it physical? Yes. Then you asked, can it be disarmed? And my first answer was no. And I said, well, theoretically, yes. You'll be able to identify it, but the chance of you being able to disable it is highly unlikely. Then you stopped asking about traps.
Gatto looks at Storm and says, because I know he'll relay this to Illindar.
I'm only like about 20 feet behind you.
Well,
I don't want to yell this.
So question 14, before you guys go on, while I found it, because I just found it. Does Xanthir have more of those construct creatures? Yes. Question 15, does he have more than 2? No. 16, does he have more than 1? Yes.
Okay, so we know he's got 2.
Yep, and you're looking at one. Storm's looking at one right now.
This 30-second bomb thing, I wonder if they're all triggered by the same thing. So all these guys throughout this whole place all go off at the same time once we find whatever triggers the initial timer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Seems likely, yeah.
So,
yeah.
do we need to move these guys farther away so they're not right next to the portcullis door? if they still are somehow
Well,
activated.
I think it has to do with the bottle. I think the bottle is the trap.
If they're explosive, we need to get them out of here.
Les, does the 30 with the 30? Can I disable the portcullis in the open position?
Yeah, it actually has a. You don't need it. You didn't need the 30. Oh, you want to disable it?
Oh, he
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
to
You
make
can
it
with the
to
30.
where it
Yeah, you can do it. It
disable
has a lock on it to sort of hold it open, and that lock is engaged, so it is held open right now. But you want to make it so that nobody can engage it.
Right.
30's fine. Yeah, you managed to crank that thing out and sort of bend it back with a
Okay.
to the point where nobody's going to be able to unlock it now.
I bet Vang has these set up where if we hurt him, they go off. That's what I would do if I was an evil genius.
So I say we get as many of these bottles outside as we can.
Yeah, that's the thing to do, I think. As long as nobody stops us from doing it. But we can't really go into that. Well, can neutral creatures, Les, I don't remember, could a neutral creature, I think,
So it's an unhallow.
I wonder if Mike can summon something.
I'm not that kind of summoner. Oh, wait. Dang it. I am that kind of summoner.
Yeah.
I think Otto had trouble with it last time, didn't he, going in there? He's neutral.
I don't know who tried to go in there.
I think Otto did, if I remember right.
No, Gatto did not try to go in there.
No.
I thought we just heard it was nasty. Someone figured out what it was, and so I don't think any of us even tried.
Did we send?
Bartos did when he was there, when he first got there, and then Otto did, the leopard did.
Yeah, Otto.
Right, but Otto takes on the alignment of Farina.
Right.
Oh, he's a familiar. He's not a. No, he's not a familiar. He's an animal companion. So
Right.
Gatto doesn't want you guys to know whether or not he can walk in there.
I'm
He's walking
thinking,
there and go, ow, ooh, this hurts.
I'm thinking,
Ow!
I'm thinking Otto's problem was he was tied with Farina and she's good. So if something is truly neutral, it might be able to breach the unhallowed barrier.
Well,
But
I mean, yeah,
also-
I mean, so you could breach it, but it has, yeah, depending on your alignment, it has effects.
It's like trying to walk in Jello if you're a good person. You can't really get anywhere, and it pushes you out.
It does that, and to a certain extent, it will deliver negative energy damage to you. I mean, you're familiar with these kind of things, and yeah, it's specifically designed to.
I say we get these
hurt
jars out of here that we can, or at least kill the people holding them.
Right.
As we go through until we get to wherever we're.
I'm
So-
going to continue to kill
That's
my
what we're
way
saying. We're
forward.
stuck. The next ones are in that area. Go.
Well, we've got several people with bows.
Well,
Yep.
that or unless you can summon something that's actually neutral and send it in there. I mean, I don't know what the
Elementals
alignment
are
is on.
typically always neutral.
They may or may not be able to go in and collect the bottles and fly them out of here like the other one did.
I have telekinesis. If they're truly not of their own will, then I can pull them out of that room if we need to do that. But
Is telekinesis per target, or is that just it works for a certain amount of time?
I have it for 9 rounds in that case, and I can do up to 375 pounds and 20 feet around.
So you could easily move the guys out. The big thing you couldn't touch.
Yeah, right.
Well, so Bardos and Ilindar, both of you give me a knowledge arcana.
Now you're just embarrassing me.
That is embarrassing for you. Did you roll, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike, your experience with magic doesn't extend in these ways, but Bardos
No, Bartos is a smart one.
is a bit more of a scholar, and he's been thinking ever since you guys ran into those. He's been thinking about what kind of spell, what kind of magical effect could do this, and how would it be triggered, and that kind of thing. He's of the mind that probably a spell that would cause the Templars to sort of do this I'm a 30-second bomb thing would be different than what would be required of a construct. Those constructs, they just follow orders, so they may not be as what's the word I'm looking for? As pliable as the Templars, who have been sort of. I mean, it's obvious that whatever Vang or did to these guys to turn them into these bombs, it's destroyed whatever sense of self that they have.
Whatever will they have.
Yeah, constructs don't have that. It's essentially a powerful robot, and it just follows orders. So the
Like
idea,
an android.
yeah, like an android. No, but I mean, so the idea, so Bartos, you're thinking that the idea of maybe sending a neutral elemental in there to sort of take these bottles, that would probably work for the two dudes, but may or may not work for the construct, because the construct wouldn't necessarily be under the same sort of will restrictions. The construct may he may be under orders at the moment somebody enters this room to trigger his bomb, and his bomb is easily 6 or 7, maybe 8 times the size of the ones being worn by the humans. It's big. It's bigger than a person, like significantly bigger. The bomb is.
Yeah. If Fang wanted to kill us, he would just have all of these creatures just gang up on us and explode at once. So there's something else going on.
Right.
He wants to talk to us, or he wants to do something.
Oh, I'm sure he wants to talk, and then when we don't talk, then he's going to use them to try and kill us.
I'll talk to him.
Okay, so you guys are sort of approaching. You do see a couple more guys inside that sort of chapel.
I would really like to try and take that construct out at range from back here.
Jennifer, does Farina have some kind of stone shape or stone call or something like that could block that entrance?
No.
How about Lothar?
Lothar has that ability. Whether or not he memorized it, that's the question.
Yeah.
So that's not one you typically think, hey, I think I'm going to be needing that one. Chuck, you there?
I don't see him online.
I think he may be tinkling.
Oh, I see him now. Chuck, you there? Dancer Bang's got Chuck.
Chuck's not there anymore.
We've lost the heat.
I have my 30-second bomb.
So what you're saying is like you're thinking about using stone shape or like wall of force or something to seal up the chapel.
Yeah,
so that it can't get out.
Right.
I was just thinking we use Gatto, Farina, and whoever else has a bow and just sit out here and plunk that thing full of so many arrows till it finally drops from it.
I think what Bartos is saying is that I think what Bartos was trying to hint at is that, it may not stand for that.
Right.
If you attack it may come to you.
Which that's fine if it does, then we fight it outside that forbiddance.
Yeah, with a it's also got a 12-foot bomb strapped to it.
Right. Well,
with many D6s, presumably many D6s worth of explosive whatever inside it.
Right. Well, I don't think we're going to get past it regardless.
It hasn't moved. So, it's just standing there. All Bartos is saying is that it as a construct, it's different from a person. Obviously, the people have had their wills taken from them or stolen or whatever. A construct doesn't have that. So if it's mandated to stay there, there might be conditions in which it can move. Like if you were attacked, go ahead and attack or something like that. Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But what he's saying is that it would be foolish to presume that the same conditions that pertain to the Templars bombs apply to the construct bomb, because they're two very different types of creatures and subject to two different types of control.
So we got to figure out if we want to try and attack it, close it in, or just ignore it.
Is this door open?
Which door?
Everything's open.
Yeah, everything's, well, not everything, but yeah, they're open now. Those were open too.
Can you not see in there?
Yeah, I can see in there. That's why I was surprised. I didn't expect to be able to see in there.
That's where we were already. We know what's in there.
I know that, but
and in fact, I believe you lost a level last time you went into those rooms.
yes, I did.
Okay, hold on a second.
Fletcher is in favor of killing whatever we see, just to be clear. And he's happy to just fight that thing if it comes out. He's got it. No problem.
Well, until it explodes with a 20d6 bomb.
You know, there's good times to die. Maybe this is one of them.
So, Bardos, inside your head, you hear a voice, and it's a weirdly familiar voice, but you can't place it. It's sort of buzzing, and it says, "Android Bardos, I can sense that you are in the building. Come to see me. If you do not harass the bombs, they will not go off. But be careful. I am limited as to how much information I can give you."
Limited by what?
Vang has set me under certain controls that I cannot break. I remember you from when you were here. I can, and the word is weird. It's not a common word, but it's like a combination of sense and taste. He's like, I can sense, taste your presence again. Come in and I will tell you what I can, but be careful. The trigger is here. And you hear it's like a groan after he says that. Come to me. I am in this, and you get an impression that he's in this area over here. Oh wait, you can't see that. Can you see that circle? Wait, I'm not making a
shift ping. Les?
Yeah.
Shift ping.
I
Hold
got
down
it.
shift and ping it.
I got it.
Okay.
That's it. So you're saying that I recognize the voices?
Well, recognize is too strong a word. You've heard, but you know that you've heard this voice before, but you can't put the idea. You're racking your brain, and you can't think of. I mean, you know you've heard it here, but you don't think that you actually ever met the person it belongs to.
Okay. I'm going to move up next to Flashheart and Elendar and say that somebody is talking to me around the corner on the left up the stairs, telling me to go talk to them. And it says that if we don't attack the creatures in the chapel, they won't attack us.
Okay.
Go see the man.
Nah, I'll move up a little bit less.
On my drop down menu of responses to Bardos, like, let me know how it turns out. No, let's go with you.
All right, so you guys approach, go up the stairs. You could see again in the chapel. There's two guys, and that construct is just standing there. Now, in this case, the two guys are looking straight forward, and you can see them mouthing words you suspect are the same things. You look at the construct who's standing on the plinth, and as Storm comes up the stairs, you see the construct kind of go, and look at. You can tell that it's looking at Storm directly. It moved. Now it hasn't left the plinth, but it moved its head, and now it's got those four eyes, and it's looking right at Storm, and you can see it tracking Storm's movement.
Okay. So you said it's up these stairs, less over
Those are
here.
downstairs.
Those are downstairs, but yeah, it's like right here.
I'm not seeing where we're going.
But outside of
Bardos now.
the temple.
Right. Am I the only one to go with you, just for safety's sake, or we take more?
No, we're all going. Gato, what are you doing?
Looking.
Keep the party together.
Looking.
Duggan.
Are you there, Chuck?
You
I'm
guys
just
are,
dugging around.
you guys are letting the mage get ahead of you, man. What are you doing? Come on.
Just
let's
making
move
sure the healer's coming with us. That's
If the mage wants to go ahead of me, he can go ahead of me.
And don't forget to bring Otto. There we go.
Where is yeah. Chuck, are you back yet?
Well, he moved his guy.
No.
I moved this guy.
Oh,
I'll keep Chuck moving.
Like I said, he's not muted, so
blink twice if we need to send help.
All right, Gato, you're looking in that room.
Yep.
You see the two dudes, and you see that construct creature is looking right at you.
Hey, big guy, remember me?
What about now?
He's looking. Well, he's looking at both of you. I mean, he's sort of like looking around, and you can see him. He has not stepped off of the plinth though, so he's on that statue base, maybe
Right.
4 feet off the ground, and he's big, so he's standing up to it. Frankly, he's almost as tall as the statue itself.
Gatto, Fletcher, stop teasing the bomb.
Yeah.
Neeny, neeny, boo, boo. How come the other two guys are injured? What happened?
Who?
Don't know.
Interesting.
They probably tried to tell Xanther Vang no.
Flash Art, would you like me to go ahead and look for traps?
By all means, Gatto.
Those doors are open, right, Les?
Yes.
Yeah, they're open.
We
You're
know-
gonna have to zoom out to see the trap, though.
We know that
Oh, great.
Xanthar is on the west side somewhere, so we know he's over this direction. Or at least was whenever we asked the questions.
This creature talking to me is not Xanther, but it's somebody that was here when I was captured before.
You hear a voice this time, Bardos, and it's that same voice. It's like, "Zzz, in here. I hear you on the stairs." Zzz.
What can I
Gatto.
see in there?
So you see, so it's basically an office, and you see a man sitting. Well, it's not a man,
Is
but you
man
see
front of a word?
a creature sitting behind a desk, and he's sitting very strangely. He's sitting like he's got both his hands on the desk. The desk has got like it's got a bag on it, and it's got but it's strange because his hands have two sort of like glowing bracelets on them. It's like he's magically chained to the desk. This person, it looks like it's shaped like a man. He's dressed very well, very elegantly, and he's got his hands are regular human hands, but his head is a fly's head, and he has coming out of the back of his clothing are like these like 4 sort of like fly wings, that sort of sepia kind of fly wings are sort of out there. And so you can hear every once in a while those wings kind of twitch a little bit, and bzz, bzz, and you can see he says to you, "Rogue, I see you. Be careful. Do not come in here."
Okay.
So it's Jeff Goldblum. That's why I recognize him.
There's The trigger is associated with the door. I don't know exactly what it is, but that is the trigger that Vang has set for the bombs. Do
The
not
door.
cross the threshold into this office.
So all the bombs go off whenever one of us goes in there?
It's not. You can see his hands kind of tense up and like struggle against these glowing sort of cuffs, manacles that are attached to the desk. And you can see him shaking his head.
Can I see that trap with the 25? Probably not.
Well, so you look at it, it doesn't, so you don't see a trap per se. The door itself looks like a normal door. What you can is you sort of peer around on the other side of it through like the little edge, and you can see that the back of that door has like a bunch of magical writing and runes on it.
Yeah, Vang is a rune specialist. He knows how to deal with runes. Hey, Flashart, can you do a detect evil on this guy?
Yes, I will. I'll do that right now.
Okay. He is definitely evil.
Okay. So, Bardos, who's your friend here? Making introductions?
He's vaguely familiar, but I'm not sure. What would you like to talk about, Demon?
His name is, my name is Grillixby. And I was for a decade, I was Xanther Vang's major domo. I am the creature who kept the Baphometians and the Adepts from killing each other.
So, bad job review?
I was
Performance
discarded because I am discarded because I am not necessary anymore. He says it. You can tell that he's sort of like, this is bullshit. But yeah, he said he was discarded. I was discarded.
Because we killed all of them.
Vang did this to me in hopes that you would come here. In that bag are plans for much of the upcoming World Wound Army attacks.
In what bag?
In the bag there's a big bag on the desk, like a leather satchel.
Okay. When the bomb goes off, will it injure you here also?
Almost certainly. The bombs are placed and designed to bring down the entire temple. Did you not notice that they were standing next to pillars?
Yeah. Okay.
Is the danger in this room only from crossing the threshold?
I am the danger.
I cannot say.
I go back to talk to Ilendar and Farina.
You see more of those guys down into the south too.
I did see those guys real quick. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna get more juice.
Hey guys,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
we back out of the. Here's my thought. Go for it. Change it. Throw it away. Whatever you want. Everyone backs out of this temple. I become invisible. I dart into that room, grab the satchel, and hightail it out as fast as I can outside the temple. If I am hasted, I can get out of there well before 30 seconds.
Okay.
Get out of where? Get out of the building or get out of the room?
Out of the building.
With haste in his movement and a run.
We're back to the Dirty Dozen. You throw the grenades down each hill and then run for the half track.
You know,
I
they
don't have a better
died, but
plan.
the mission was a success.
If we're going to do that plan, I would ask that we change it, and I'll dismiss Storm and get some air elementals to come do that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go outside and talk about this somewhere that we're not being scribed. Obviously, I mean, maybe we can get into Jennifer's.
Do you want to before we leave here? Do you want to ask him what he wants? Why he's bothering to talk to us?
I don't know that he has a heck of a lot of choice right now.
He didn't really seem able to tell us much.
Well, he
He basically told us how to not spring the trap is what he did.
Yeah, but I assume that he's in an end game. Like, and if you free me, I will give you these plans over here.
Well, if he's,
Or-
I mean, he's definitely evil, and you know, fly-headed guys aren't really a normal kind of thing that you see.
Hey! Don't judge based on fly heads.
Hey,
Well-
we have a drow in the party. What's with the flyhead guy? Why
Your
are
guess-
judgy?
Well, your guess is that he's probably one of the Discari guys, right? So Discari was that locust demon guy, and it's Baphomet and Discari are the two big demons, the two major demons that are sort of collaborating here. Discari is very much an insectile demon. You suspect that this guy is some sort of demon, and Bardos, you know that if he is summoned and his body is destroyed here, he gets sent back to the abyss
For 100 years, right?
We can't come
Something
back for a while.
Yeah.
Why are you telling us this? What do you want out of this? Just revenge for having been put in the situation?
I served Xanthir Vang for 10 years in this stinking hole. I did everything I was commanded, and I did it gleefully. And this is the thanks I get. So yes, I would like nothing better than to see Vang's plan to bury you in this temple foiled. And you can see him sort of like struggling against these cuffs, which are like electrocuting him.
Like a Klingon agonizer.
When it stops, he's like looking at you, and he's like, "So yes, the answer to your question is yes. I know that am headed back to the abyss, regardless of what happens. But there I will reform, pay my penance, and then I will seek vengeance. I don't think there is anything that you can do for me unless you can remove these binds, and I don't know that you can.
Another question. How do we hurt Santher Vang where it hurts the most?
Survive this trap.
Where is Xanthar?
I don't know.
Does he have quarters, or does he have somewhere he hangs out?
Well, he's not here.
His quarters were down. He can't point, but you know what I mean. He says they're down in the southwestern portion of the place.
By the secret
You
door.
can hear some sort of demonic creature in the background
Yeah.
making a noise.
Poor doggy.
Sorry about
Or
that.
some poor sea bass.
Poor thing.
Where is he? There he is. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, he's got a collapsing trachea. All we do is medicate him.
Poor little fella. So the fly guy would say yes. You know, his quarters were in the southwestern portion of the temple, as was his laboratory. I don't know where he is now.
Do you guys want to loot this place before we break this threshold?
Oh, yeah. When he kills Xanthar Vang, loot the place. I don't care
Xanthar
which
Vang
order.
is not going to be here.
I don't care
Right.
which order.
And we're still supposed to be looking for information on how to get to that waste spot.
I prefer to call it
That I can help you with.
I prefer to call
Xanthar.
it liberating artifacts.
Xanthar isn't as smart or as observant as he believes him to be. He also kept journals. I got one. It's in the bag. That's my gift to you. If you can get out of this temple without triggering the bombs and collapsing the place.
So does the bomb trigger 30 seconds after we break the threshold?
Oh, bomb goes off right away.
I just can't say. He's unable to tell.
How heavy is that bag?
It's full of parchments and a book. 7 to 12 pounds.
5.5 pounds.
It's 5.5, more than your mage hand could do.
Yeah, it over encumbers.
I don't know.
5 pounds, 1 ounce.
I don't know. 5 pounds of paper is probably a pretty substantive stack of paper. The problem is it's basically like a leather messenger satchel filled with papers. Now it's filled with papers, and there's a small book in there too, according to this guy, a copy of one of Xanthar's journals. But I don't know. I mean, how much is 5 pounds of paper? What does 5 pounds of paper look like? Do you think the internet knows?
I think a whole ream of paper wouldn't be more than a pound or two.
I would say
That's 500 sheets.
Yeah, a ream of 500 sheets is, maybe 2 pounds, if that.
I'd say 2 reams.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's light.
Oh, here we go. Paper sheets to pounds calculator. How do you like that? Number of sheets. All right, so let's try that. 8 by 11, basic size. Oh, this is different. All right, hold on.
I suggest that Storm stays with Bartos watching Insect Demon. If you guys want to try to ransack this place, I'm going to stay here and keep an eye on him. But then I think we should go outside and talk about this in Farina's hidden hideaway where we can't be scryed on, and try to come up with a plan. Because I think sitting here talking about a plan is not a good idea.
Might as well hand it to Xanthar Vang.
Okay, that's a good idea. She can actually make that hut wherever, so we can just do it in here.
Yeah, well, I mean, ultimately, all of us want to be out of this thing anyway, except whoever's going to try to get this bag. So, I mean, going outside is just the first step to enacting the plan, which is the obvious beginning of it. But if you guys want to look around and see if you can find anything else valuable, I mean, now's the time. because it's probably going to be gone here in the next 30 minutes.
Are there any other triggers?
Can't answer that.
Can't answer, huh? Was that a no?
He was
Well,
shaking
he
his head.
shook his head no.
Does anybody speak electrified fly? Okay.
He can't answer audibly because it hurts him. So.
Excuse me, sir. I speak Zapper.
So you see, and so Farina, as you sort of go in that room, you see more of these guys. In this case, though, you see something interesting. Remember that dude that you saw that was in between all those pillars? There's a guy there, but in this case, it's not a Templar. It looks like one of the Blackfire adepts. You're not sure which one, but it's certainly not a Templar. It's standing in between those things. And hold on a second. And but it also has, it's just standing there and staring, but it also has a bomb strapped to him.
Is it mumbling and doing the same?
It is. He is.
I go back out and tell that to Bardos if there's one of those adepts down here.
Yeah, definitely don't want to work with Vang.
You're fine until you're not useful anymore.
Hey, last I'm doing a perception check where I'm at.
Okay. Where are you at?
Yeah. Secret passage.
Oh, way over there? Yeah, so that is, I mean, it's like a little hallway that goes around the sort of the rear of the complex. You're not sure where it goes, but you're pretty sure you're behind, or that it goes behind that temple. Here's the thing, though. If unless you miss your guess, you get to be about right here or so. And you think that you would be directly behind that statue. So your worry is that if that statue emanates the unhallow, you could accidentally walk into it because there's only a stone wall between you and it. Now, you don't know enough about spells to know if it'll stop it. You think maybe, but you're not sure. But you would be like right behind it.
Yeah.
Les, is this supposed to be a door just south of where I'm at? Or is that?
What do you mean?
Is there a door to the south of where I'm standing?
No.
But there's one here.
What's this room?
That room is Q13. It looks like a small barracks room. This looks like maybe a place where officers would have stayed. In this case, it's this is like a almost like a latrine. There's facilities here. Fletcher, the door that you're standing at, you peek in there. That's more of a Templar barracks. There's beds and footlockers and stuff in there.
Ooh, footlocker. I could use some new shoes.
As we look around here, does it look like things have been tidied up and emptied, or is it like they pretty much everything's like it would be if they still operated here?
A little of both. It's certainly tidied up, and like Fletcher, if you check like the foot lockers in that room, they still contain clothing and things like that. There's still weapons in the weapon racks and stuff like that. It doesn't look like it's been emptied. But
I've got detect magic going. Are these people wearing any magical armor or have magical rings, or is there stuff laying around?
Their weapons, their glaives and their armor is magical, and that kind of stuff. They don't have what you would like other magical items like that. But if you're talking about weapons and armor, yeah, they all do. That one Blackfire adept in that training room there, he actually has a wand stuck in his belt.
Yeah, I want to go loot that. But
okay.
Not at this exact moment. Fletcher, don't get too far. Don't want to down that way. I don't want to cause an encounter that we're not ready for.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, most of the rooms that you've been in look like they've been I don't know if the rooms that you've been in where you had combat, those have all been cleaned up and emptied. Some of these other rooms, like I said, they look normal, but it could be that there was just nothing there that Vang wanted.
Right. I'm looking for loot.
Okay.
Looking for any kind of magic items, anything that.
Well, there was that wand stuck in the belt of that Blackfire Adept. I mean, you roll up to her and you could just pull it out and take it.
Okay.
They're not reacting. None of these guys with bomb strapped to them, humans with bomb strapped to them, are reacting at all to you guys. Now that one big construct who's standing on the statue, he definitely was reacting to you guys, but he didn't attack.
Right. So yeah, every guy that we've seen so far, if they've got anything other than, obviously I'm not going to strip a set of full plate off someone, but.
Well, they have they don't have, if you're looking for like money satchels and things like that, yeah, some of them have actual, coins on them. And I'll get you a list of that.
Pretty much going through grabbing that stuff. And as we're looking through rooms, we're probably looking for the same stuff, looking for anything valuable. And I think we need to stay kind of close together because we don't know when one of us is going to walk through a door and Xanthar is going to be right there. So we've always got to be ready for a fight.
Okay. Yeah, some of the Templars have all their stuff on. You guys have pretty much not taken any of that stuff because it's all anti-paladin, it's got Baphomet sigils on it and all that kind of stuff.
We don't have a dimension door that can just get us all out of here? Or a recall to...
to recall the Dresden kind of thing?
Yeah.
No, you don't have anything like that. I don't know that any of you can. You guys aren't high enough level to cast teleport.
Diablo
right?
town portal.
Actually, Bardos has teleport now.
Oh, okay, good.
But he could teleport himself or the whole group?
Up to 4 people.
Okay, so essentially,
sacrifices must
some
be
of us
made.
be outside, and Bardos and somebody else takes the thing and then teleports back to outside.
Well, I have dimension door too, which is enough for this. That's 760 feet.
Oh,
Okay.
And yeah, he can clearly visualize outside. How many people can you take with that one? Is that 4 as well?
Do we need to test it first to make sure it works? Because it would be suck to find out that he put some sort of anchor or whatever to this area that we can't teleport out. Thinking we're all clever. But that seems to be the best way to get out of here unscathed.
I think we need to talk about that somewhere where somebody can't listen to
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You want to
I thought we'd already
plan now, or do you want to? Let's just stay together, loot, and stay away from the southwest corner. And then we need to jump into that hut, discuss the plans going forward, and then come out and execute.
So, just as a thing, the hut that you guys use is the row trick that Farina does sort of creates an extra dimensional space, but it has a door that's camouflaged. If you do that in here and the bombs go off and the thing collapses, the problem will be when the spell runs out, you guys will be essentially underneath a bunch of rubble.
Right.
If that's the case, if that's what happens.
Okay.
You guys have removed several of the bombs already.
Let's go. You guys want to do the plan now? Discuss the plan now in the hut?
Did you want to do the Sylvan Hideaway here, or you want to go back out?
No, we want to go outside, just outside the doors in the canyon and do it.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me.
That works.
All right, so you guys all go outside, out into the canyon area.
Yep. Yeah.
He's already there.
Okay.
Wait, does anybody have knowledge engineering?
Bardos has made 2 knowledge dungeoneering checks, and he rolled a 1 and a 2.
So it's getting better.
It's getting there.
His last one was double his first one.
Uh-huh.
Now I was thinking again more along the lines of Engineering, not dungeoneering.
Nope, I don't have that.
Okay.
Okay, Flashheart, move your guy outside.
Because at this
Cross that
point,
threshold first.
they had a bunch of guys all standing at pillars, right? So 6 of those are gone.
Bardos, we're leaving.
Yeah, and we're doing all this talk inside the hut.
So 6 of those bombs are gone from those pillars.
Right.
There are people who are over here, the 2 and the adept that you got the wand from.
Right.
That's 3 more that in theory we could take the vases
Bombs
off
and
of
get
them,
rid of
the
them.
bombs off of them and get rid of them. So
Yep.
that's another 3 pillars not included. So the only thing we can't easily get to is the big giant fat construct and the 2 guys with him. So those are huge bombs, but they're only
Just in
on
certain areas.
3 pillars.
We don't know if neutral summon things could get through there and do anything.
Well, and the neutral summon things might be able to get through and take the 2 bombs off of the people, but the
But not
construct
the-
still has the ability to act.
Yeah, not
If
the
it
construct.
does,
Right.
if
So
it does,
right, but here's the thing. So at some point, we will have removed enough of the bombs next to pillars that even if the big one goes off, the damage is not going to be utter destruction.
Yeah, not catastrophic.
It will be localized to that area.
It'll be localized to the temple. It'll blow those. And again, that's why I asked if anybody had knowledge engineering, because you'd have to determine which one of these pillars are completely load bearing and which ones maybe aren't. If they put a bomb next to them, you'd have to assume that they are load bearing. In which case, if you remove bombs from 9 out of 12 load bearing things, it's not all going to collapse. It'll collapse in the temple for certain, especially considering the bomb that construct has is 10
It's
times
huge.
larger than the rest, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that there will be enough of an explosion at enough key points within the building to cause the entire thing to collapse.
We're hoping, yes.
But we don't know that because we don't have anybody who understands it.
Right.
My kingdom for a dwarf.
Can we fly back to Dresden and get a dwarf?
Tell the fly guy, we'll be back.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, sorry, just kidding.
The other thing is there's the fly guy in there. And he's held down by magic handcuffs of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
We have within the party, and I don't know who ended up getting it, but I know that at one point we got a scroll of greater dispel. So is there a chance that greater dispel magic would be able to ungink those handcuffs?
possibly.
In which case, the fly guy, yes, he's evil. Yes, he's a demon. We've been dealing with this the whole time. But if we free him from the thing that's electrocuting him, he seems somewhat willing to help to a
But
certain extent.
he did say that in large part he acted as a diplomat between the Discari guys, and the Adepts and the Templars, because there was a bit of friction, right? Because you remember from the Vang stuff, the legend was that Vang and this essentially the woman who's in charge, well, she's not a woman, but the demon that's in charge of the Templars, the Baphometian Templars, is a woman named is a demon named Hepzimira, a female demon, and she used to be in the World Wound commanding the Templars, right? She is actually like the daughter, in some ways, the daughter of one of Baphomet's daughters. Anyway, she was in charge of this, and when she got recalled to the Abyss or had to go somewhere, she put Vang in charge. Vang is not a Baphometian. He was something else, but he was like one of her favorites. He was a mage and an alchemist. He did a lot of work for her, and she liked him a lot. And the original story was that he had been killed in one of the Crusades, and nobody had ever heard of him again. But what you guys found out later was that he was sort of attached to this Hepzimira, who was in charge of the Templars. And when she left, he got put in charge of it. She put him in charge, even though he wasn't a Templar. And there was a little bit of friction there about that, because there were actual Templar sergeants and colonels and whatever who were like, well, shouldn't I be in charge? I've been, he's not even a Baphometian. And the fly guy would say, in large part, for the last 10 years, my job has been to sort of keep things smooth between these two groups so that they can function effectively.
Right. But then his job got outsourced or removed. And
Well,
so now he has sort of, it seems like he has a rightful issue with his former employer who has now set him up to be blown to smithereens.
well, what it sounds like is that he did all this work for on behalf of Xanthir Vang and Hepsamira, and when it came time to abandon ship, he got used as some sort of trap.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is if we're able to release him from those manacles,
I don't
He
know that
may-
he would be first in line to attack you guys. No.
yeah, he may be
Well-
willing to hand us the bag without tripping the bombs and then go his merry way. Or at that point, since he's a demon, we can attack him and try to kill him, which I think would be foolish.
You can
but-
probably take the bag without undoing the handcuffs.
Yeah, I would say that he has to go down with the ship here. The paladin I was already feeling bad enough about letting a major demon get away scot-free, so this one's got to pay.
So then
You're
the-
making him pay for Jerabeth's sins.
So then the question becomes, how do you get the bag out without going in the room and triggering the bomb?
Well, the
You
bomb.
don't. You got 30 seconds to run away.
We asked the fly guy that, and through his electrocution, he shook his head no.
I would say you open the dimension door in the room, grab the bag, and step through the dimension door. Right?
Because he's already said it's not actually a 30-second bomb. If you cross the threshold, it's an immediate bomb. Well, he didn't
Well,
say
he
the
didn't.
immediate
He didn't say
part.
that.
He didn't say the immediate part, but he
just
said
said
it's not a
30
30-second situation.
So
And
he didn't
ins-
say anything.
yeah, and insinuated that it would be bad.
Yeah, I'd say cast dimension door right next to it, step through, grab the bag, and step through the dimension door.
And then you guys stand really close to the rest of you guys. Whoever does that, that would have to almost be Bardos. Bardos has dimension door. Do you have dimension door too, Lothar?
I
Or
do not. That's a
That's
mage
strictly an
spell.
arc. It's strictly an arcane. So if the rest of you stand like really close to like the opening that goes into that chapel, when that happens,
That would be great.
you know that you'd probably be
We'll
safe.
all get a
Like,
tan.
yeah, like
Well, no.
right there in front of that door.
No, see the thing, dimension door has some fairly good length on it, doesn't it, Gordon?
Dimension door is 760 feet range.
So we could all be outside
Well,
if he
however many
memorized.
people you can take with them, not all of us.
No,
What do you
it's
mean?
not
all
taking
start.
anybody. Right, we all go outside. He memorizes the spot in that room. Dimension doors from 760 feet away. Grabs the bag and comes right back.
That's two
I think-
things.
I think it should be Bardos and Gatto because it's not going to be as easy as we're trying to make it, I think. And Gatto might have something that can get us out of something. I mean, I can do haste because it's possible we might not be able to teleport in there. It's possible that we might not be able to teleport out of there. It's possible we might have trouble getting the bag. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can happen.
Yeah, you're not sure what kind of runes are on the back of that door.
So then, is
What-
it worth?
and what
is
happens-
It worth, is it worth trying to use the greater dispel on the door?
Yes.
Instead of outrun the bomb, pull the trick or destroy the trigger.
Well, like I said, we have a scroll of greater dispel magic. We don't, I think at this point know what spell level it's at. But greater dispel, the minimum spell level required to cast it is higher than we are. So would that give us a chance to get rid of the runes on the back of the door?
Yes.
Just devil's advocate here. Would we rather use that to when we confront Xanthar to remove his buffs or whatever else he's got set up in motion?
No.
Bag sounds like something that we need to get. One, it's got what we need to help Illendar, and two, it's got a shitload of good information.
Right. Yeah, we
Okay.
need that. It's just a matter of,
How?
yeah. My only concern with all these is the fact that Xanthar is supposed to be kind of like a Bardos. I mean, he's a very smart, thoughtful guy. And if we've just come in and tore apart this whole thing, and the fact that he's been scrying on us, I think he's pretty well versed in our abilities. And I think,
Well, again, the way I escaped from him was because he didn't know I had Dimension Door. I got that because I went up a level. It wasn't in my spell book. I mean, it was the whole combination. He didn't know
Right.
that. And now I just went up a level. Now I have teleport. He's not going to necessarily know I had that because I just got it. I have never used it before.
right.
You don't get the Bartos does not get the impression that, you know, whatever scrying or tracking that Xanthir does to you guys, it doesn't include the ability to read Bartos's mind.
Yeah. And he also wouldn't know, because under normal circumstances, our capacity does not include a powerful enough dispel magic to probably bother him. So he
Yeah.
wouldn't know that we have a scroll that's much higher level than we are.
So that scroll was written at 15th level.
It still can fail. I mean, if he's,
Yeah, you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
you guys don't know what level Xanthir is.
yeah,
Well, we can assume he's very high, though. I mean,
yeah.
probably more than 50.
I mean, if he's a 15th level caster, then there's a 50-50 shot of that one working.
Should have asked Rastal. Is he a 15th level caster? No. Is he a 16th level caster? No.
And then we could have changed it to 150 questions.
87 questions is pretty good. That's
I
a
was
good
going to
run.
say, I was waiting for my deity to get irritated, to be honest with you.
Will you guys leave me alone?
was in a good mood that day.
Face burst through the clouds. What are you doing? Averting my eyes, oh Lord. Knock it off. It's damned irritating.
Well, quit it.
So yeah, I'm concerned about magical means to try and get in there, because I think one is he's got a lot more than we do, and I think he probably is smart enough to have kept us from doing a lot of the low level magic to get this. I mean, if he didn't, he's smart enough to realize that this fly probably doesn't care for him much. If he didn't paralyze him like he did everyone else, he's got to know that this creature is going to want for its life, or at least revenge, and so would probably be out of the realm that it would help us.
I don't get the impression Vang is necessarily very wise, though. I mean, he's the things he said.
He's smart but not wise.
Hmm?
He's smart but not wise.
I mean, I don't know about that. I'm just saying that the way he interacts with Bartos, it seems like he wants things to, he creates his own reality and what he wants to be. Like inviting Bartos to be a black adept. I mean, there is no way in hell Bartos would ever consider something like that. It's just not, for him to even offer that, to me, just shows that he's lacking, he creates his own reality rather than having a wisdom about people that he interacts with. Because, I mean, it's just not.
Yeah, if he was.
Yeah, it doesn't make a ton of sense from a normal person standpoint.
Right.
Somebody who, you know, understands, you know, that you can't torture someone and then 2 weeks later invite them to be your student and expect that to happen.
So maybe smart, but also arrogant and overconfident,
Maybe.
and overlook things because of it.
I think he's lost a little bit of a touch with his humanity that he used to have. I mean, whatever happened to him to make him what he is, he's no longer a normal species of being that we would consider normal. He's just something different. So I mean, it's hard to try to interpret that. You don't know. I mean.
So was that desk? That desk was less than 10 feet from the doorway, right?
Well, yeah, I think no, about actually from the transom, it was probably about 12 feet. The front edge of the desk.
So the question is, do we teleport to the doorway, cross the threshold, grab the bag, and then teleport out? Or do we just try to bypass the threshold, teleport into the room, and then teleport back out? And I don't know if there's a...
So like teleport from a different location, just reach our hand in there, swipe the bag, and adios?
Well, and if the trigger are runes on the door,
And if we don't pass the threshold, that's why I tried to ask him that, which he shook his head, but I mean, I don't think he was...
But he couldn't answer.
yeah.
He couldn't answer, yeah.
So as long as you don't cross the threshold, if you appear somewhere else in the room,
Possibly, yeah.
yeah,
Don't
then you
cross
might
the
not
stream.
trigger that trap.
I think
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think that's the best choice, is to try that rather than going through the threshold.
So something else you guys may consider is that Xanthir, when he set up whatever torture blocks on this fly to keep him from giving you information, there's probably I think Bartos made a great point about saying, Xanthir, having lost his essential humanity, lost some of his prowess or his capabilities in dealing with with humans and people that are not like him anymore or like he used to be. So he wouldn't have been necessarily able to consider all options or all questioning techniques when setting up the blocks that keep the fly guy from telling you guys more information.
Right.
So the point being is that there might be ways or methods to ask questions of the fly guy that can elicit responses that aren't blocked.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so like
if you go at it obliquely.
Yeah, so like yes or no questions where he blinks his eyes or.
It seems to be that when you ask him a question and he tries to respond verbally, that's when things start to kick in. It's not, he can think things, he can't necessarily say things.
Right, that's what I mean. So blink
Right.
your eyes for yes, or hold up your left hand for yes and your right hand for no, and whatever.
So if Bartos,
Wait, my left or your left?
Do we go on 3 or do we go 1, 2, 3 and then go?
so if Bartos and Gatto walk in there, go to the door, we can ask him questions, try to figure
Ask the bartender why the long face. Oh wait, that's that.
and then
I think first we loot everything. Stay away from the southwest corner, because if he's still there, that's where he's going to be.
if he's trying to blow the place up, is he realistic?
Yeah, he's not going to be. He's probably already gone.
I mean, yeah, it looks like he has set a number of bombs in strategic places that the impression that you're getting is that should they go off after a certain prescribed trigger event, the idea would be that it's going to collapse because you remember this temple, this place is sort of burrowed into the edge of the canyon. So you're in the bottom of a canyon to get in it. So it's there's a lot of rock above it. If he somehow manages to knock out some support beams or what have you, all that pressure comes crawling down and would just like crush everything. The idea is that it would crush the temple entirely.
I'll be back.
Theoretically, with you guys in it, that would be very bad.
Les, is this where Bartos was kept? I mean, is this where the laboratories were that he was?
No, you don't recognize any of this stuff. You haven't recognized any of these rooms in any of the times that you've been in here.
So yeah, I would say we walk through, leave the southwest for last, but go through and find anything we can in here. If for some reason he's still in here, which I'm starting to think now is doubtful, we're ready for a fight. But if it doesn't happen, then yeah, last thing we do is get everybody out except for just necessary personnel that, can be transported quickly out. And then
and you might be able to figure out a way to get more information from the fly guy. He certainly knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So is it worthwhile 2 people question the fly guy under sort of new methodology? Is it worth trying to get more of these bombs out of here?
Yeah, I would, because like you pointed out, there's always there's a good chance of any plan we make is going to go wrong somehow.
Now wait a second.
Hey, he knows us.
Les pulls up the video, the tape of our greatest hits.
Like you said, if we can minimize the amount of explosions, maybe if we do screw this up, there's a chance that parts of this temple are still intact when we screw up.
Yeah, I think Lothar made a good point where it's like, look, if he's got these guys next to these pillars, obviously they're in such a way that they're load bearing, and this is his, if those pillars get knocked out. If they don't get knocked out, it's likely that the damage, while significant, might not be comprehensive.
So I'm going to see if Fletcher will help me.
I'm on board.
With what?
Go to this area over here where they're the other non-moving I'm a 30-second bomb guys.
Mhm.
And he's strong, so take the things off of them and take them outside and deposit them over here in the corner where they're not going to do any harm.
Well, take them outside, and then Storm can grab them and take them up to where the other ones are.
Yeah, that works too. That way we can put them all up on the top.
I think one other thing that you guys will have noticed is that the bombs, well, never mind.
Let's go check out the bombs. Maybe we'll learn more information.
There we go.
This is why I could never get those job openings at the CIA. I kept getting rejected.
Karina's going to give you bark skin too, Lothar. I don't know how high your AC is.
You want me to go up and get one of the bombs?
If I take my armor off, I can move 40 feet.
No, leave your armor on.
What kind of armor is bark skin? Does that count as natural?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a natural armor bonus.
Okay, so then, yeah, that would make my AC go up.
Yeah, it's a +4. I just don't know.
That would give me 24.
I'm going to do that.
I don't know where the hell I went. Here we go.
Do you have to come with, or do you want me to just go do it?
Well, no, I figured I would. It's my idea, so I'm not going to put someone else necessarily. So we need to go way over to here.
Okay.
I just know I'm not generally strong enough to sort of lift and carry stuff. I'm sort of a weakling, so.
So, first of all, give me a perception check. Both of you in there.
25.
25 and Dan, you got a 36? Fletcher got a 36? All right. So you guys both notice this. But one of the interesting things is you begin to approach these guys. And again, these guys are just standing there. They're staring off in the distance. They don't exhibit any sort of willpower or intelligence. These bombs are strapped to them with a sort of leather sort of carrying case, essentially, that is struck onto them. It looks like it was made specifically for these. But the one thing that you guys notice about the bombs is that there doesn't seem to be any sort of obvious triggering mechanism. The bottles themselves are some sort of metal, and they are sealed, stoppered and sealed with some sort of thick wax on the top of it, like very much like a Maker's Mark bottle. They're that, but there doesn't seem. I mean, there's no wick coming out of it or anything like that. There doesn't seem to be any triggering mechanism on the bottle itself.
Well, my theory still remains access to air.
That's probably triggered by a rune.
Yeah, it's magical. It's going to set these things off.
Oh. So if we have the ability, which we've done several times already, to remove them from them and get them the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think we're safe to just grab them, bring them outside. Like I said, we'll just have Storm fly them up to the top.
Yeah, and we'll get them away from these pillars that these people are set at.
I'm getting this picture of Xanther Vang sitting somewhere with a little detonator, like just waiting.
Well, let's find out. Let me try to remove the one from this guy.
All right. Yeah. You really don't have a lot of problems removing it. I mean, you can just go and sort of like unbuckle it and pull it off. You do realize that these are pretty heavy. The bottles are maybe the size, the bottle portion. So they look like a little bit like a flask, like a big flask, right? You got a round sort of portion where there's obviously some sort of liquid or gel in there. You can sort of feel it sloshing around just a little bit when you shake, when you give it a little shake. Then you have a neck and that cork that is sealed up on it. The bowl part, the bottom where the fluid or gel is about the size of maybe a little larger than a basketball. So maybe like about this big, maybe a basketball and a half, and round, but it's heavy. And you're not sure if the heaviness is from the density of the liquid within or the metal nature of the bottle itself, but it weighs probably something along the lines of 40 pounds.
Okay, so I should be able to carry 3 or 4 of them, no problem.
Just sort of like holding the straps kind of thing. and lug them out. Yeah, I mean, and you and Lothar have no problems actually removing these bombs from these guys. They do not react when you do that. They don't struggle. They don't change, and they continue to talk. One thing you do notice is that this first guy right here is wounded, has some healed, in one case stitched. What to your mind looks like an obvious sword strike. He's been wounded recently.
I didn't do it.
Like when we came into attack?
Grievously so.
Potentially. I
Might have
mean,
done it, actually.
yeah, he's been wounded, and the wounds. I mean, Lothar, give me a like a heal check or medicine check or whatever the check is.
I mean, can we do a perception to see if we recognize these guys? If somebody attacked us and we hurt them, we probably would recognize them, right?
It was a lot of guys that you fought. I mean, it's possible. Yeah, you could try it. So is that the heal check or perception check?
That's a heal check,
It's a
17.
heal check. It's definitely a sword strike, and it's definitely been treated. He's got a couple of wounds that are partially healed. In one case, somebody has, some healer has sunk a few stitches into it. The timing looks about right. These wounds look that they could be 2 or 3 days old by the
So,
level of healing and knitting that's already taken place.
and if I take a second and concentrate on the location of people that I shot with that bow 2 days ago, do I get anything?
No, none of the people in here were people that you shot.
Well, I don't know what the range on that sense is.
It's pretty far, if I recall correctly. You do get a vibe from the southeast that somebody you shot is to the southeast. But you don't have any idea about distance.
Okay. I was just curious if this guy was one of the ones I got with an arrow.
No. Somebody got him with something, but it looks like sword slashes, and they look like they have been,
Dealt with.
So yeah, a medic dealt with them.
Right.
They weren't magically healed, though. They were sewed up. But yeah, you get the bombs out, and
The bombs,
yeah. So Fletcher, you're gonna just carry them outside.
I'm just going to carry them outside. Correct.
All right, so you carry them outside, and then Storm is going to fly them up and put them with the rest of the bombs.
Which is, up towards the top and about 50 feet away from the actual edge of the canyon.
All right, can do. So there is a total now of 10 of these. 10 of these bombs up on the plateau, about 50 feet away from the edge.
It's going to be a good fireworks display.
Well, I don't know that I would want to be under the edge of that thing in this canyon when that went off. I mean, you don't know how strong these bombs are.
Yeah, true.
We can tell her to move them a couple 100 feet away.
Okay.
It's not going to take her long.
Well, it wouldn't take long for her to move them. Is that what you want to do? You want to move them to a couple 100 feet away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Part of our plans has us meeting back out here, and I don't want that going off and causing us any issue.
So one thing, I mean, if these bombs do go off and they're essentially just sitting up on the thing, and they don't necessarily need to be held to go off, like there's a magical trigger, like Bardos pointed out.
Right.
They'll go off up there. Now, if they're 200, 300 feet away, that you guys down in the canyon will probably not be in any danger, but from the explosion. But something like that, if you set off that level of explosion on the ground, it's going to create a crater, and it's going to
landslide.
It's going to throw up a bunch of soil and dust and stuff into the air, which might be visible from afar.
Question.
Probably visible, yeah.
Question. Just, I don't know if we don't want it visible for some reason or not, but could we put it in the haven, the retreat, or whatever, the interdimensional space? What would happen if we did that?
And they detonated?
Yeah.
I don't know. What was the name of that spell again? I can never remember it.
Hideaway.
Hideaway.
I mean, it's basically I don't know.
Which
It's
is
a
open
furnace
God
thing
be pissed
inside
off,
of that
probably.
was
It's just a large explosion on that other plane, is what it is.
Well, but there's also
But
a
the
door, right? So it creates an extra dimensional space that holds two people. The room is sealed by a 5-foot square camouflage trap door that can be locked within. The trap door has hardness 10 and 20 hit points per caster level. So depending on so my guess is that the extra dimensional space would be fine, but that the door with only 20 hit points per caster level, which means maybe it's not going to have 200 hit points, is going to be blown off, and the explosive force will be directed outward through the broken door.
right. Yeah, I don't care if once this thing blows up, we're leaving here regardless. So I don't care. If
Yeah, I would just say
explosion.
we gotta place our bombs carefully so we don't bury ourselves in a landslide by putting them all up on the edge of a cliff.
Yeah, that's purposely why I said I wanted it away from the edge.
Yeah, no, and Storm will have moved them. They're like 200, 250 feet away from the canyon edge, out into the plateau there. So they're just like laying in a pile.
Yeah, plus sitting on a surface isn't going to have the same effect.
No,
No.
they're going to all explode up.
Yeah, the vast majority of the explosion will be pushed upward.
Is there any advantage or disadvantage to having a visible explosion?
No.
Well, other than Vrock's
Lure
basically.
him back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it depends on how fast you guys get out of here
Potential
after that.
explosion is the last step of this plan, and then we're leaving after that. So
who's
I
doing
can't
the
think of them.
yes or no Q&A with Bugsby?
we can all do it.
Be there.
I think Bardos is best suited for it, isn't he?
He's the smart one.
He's the one that the guy called back to talk to him.
I think he did that because he, Bardos. You get the impression that Grilligsby, the fly guy, reached out to you because he has telepathy and he knew he recognized you. Yeah, telepathically.
Makes sense. So yeah, I'll definitely be there. I mean, I can be there while all this other stuff is going on.
I say we start in the north and northeast, sweep around the whole place, look at everything, and then come back around, and then start going to the southwest.
Okay. So, all right. So how do you want to do that?
I'd probably just go room to room and just have Gatto like search for secret doors or something in each room. But like I said, just do one per room and just kind of start northeast and work our way. Well, actually, let's start kind of where Lothar is right now. Start down there and then just start kind of going up. And then from there, once we hit the end or whatever, then start going to the left and then start going down on the other side.
Let Gato go first.
Barnos is going to stay at that doorway where the fly guy is.
Okay.
Yeah, he can be asking questions while we're doing that.
Yeah, if something goes wrong, I want to be able to at least try to get that bag of shit up.
Storm will stay with you.
All right, sounds good.
All right. So go ahead and put your icons and your characters where you're going to be.
Okay, so what is Gatto doing?
Just searching for secret.
The same thing you started to do before on your own, but this time we're with you.
He's picking he's picking Ilandar's pockets. Is what he's doing.
And you said start over here and down to this end, right?
Start down to the right, like down here.
Yeah, and you said
Down and to the right, Gato. Wrong way. Where you went before.
You said I got a sense that one of the ones I injured was southeast.
Yeah, southeast.
So
Ooh, there's a hot tub.
from where I am now, what direction?
He's not.
Where are you? I don't see you. Oh, almost due south. If you guys
don't
went
have any-
outside, you would recognize that one of those guys in that pile, one of the six that you killed, was a guy you shot.
Okay.
I recognize this
30,
mole.
30 perception, just checking out this room.
So this is, I don't know if you ever saw this. This room was, I don't know if anybody over.
Yeah,
Fletcher
that-
would tell you this is Jerabet's room. So
This is Ilandar's girlfriend's room.
This is where I
Yeah.
found,
second girlfriend. You know,
The
of all the
second
people that
girlfriend.
start picking up chicks,
You got a
It's
good
Illidan.
record.
Yeah. So the room itself
Apparently, I only got to go after
is,
demons.
there's a writing desk. There's a big mirror, full length mirror. There's a semicircular, essentially bathtub, and a canopy bed in the corner. Uh, there's
I'm gonna let him
some
search
sort
it.
of contraption in the middle that looks like a cross between a wooden gurney and a torture table, and its corners have leather straps, and if you look at the leather straps, those straps have some blood on it. There was also a set of manacles attached to a short chain, which was attached to the bed. When I don't know who was the guy. I think it was Ilindar who came in here
Yeah.
first, right? So
Yeah.
Ilindar, you would know that those little manacles on the bed was where Jarabeth was tied up. You're not sure what this table is about. It was in there when you came in here before, but you guys were in the middle of a giant battle. You didn't have time to investigate.
Yeah, she wasn't tied up there.
She wasn't on the gurney. She was on the bed,
Yeah, but she
sort of sitting on the bed, and she was manacled to the bed.
Yeah.
She's all like, aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, aren't you a little demony to be a princess?
Very much.
So 30 perception check. Anything of interest here?
So you do see that there's a little desk there, like a little writing desk.
Yep.
And you do see that there are some parchments in there.
Take them all.
Put them on my haversack.
Most of them are blank. Only one of them has any writing on it.
Take all of them. Put them in my haversack.
You're not going to read it?
Nope.
No.
All right, fine. Be a big wuss about it. It's not like it's a big rune.
I'm going to hand it to Ilindar.
All right.
Later.
The rune goes off. No, I'm kidding. No, they just look like. I mean, there's a paper. There's a couple of cut quills, that kind of stuff. It looks like.
And I've got detect magic going while he's doing all his searching, so in case he does pull something up that does glow, I'll let him know.
Well, that little pool there is magical, but the parchments that he pulled up are not magical.
Right.
And only one has writing on it.
What kind of magic is the pool?
What kind of magic? Hold on.
Ilindar, can you identify this pool?
Yeah, is it a spellcraft?
Hold on. So you're doing detect magic. You sort of concentrated on it a little bit. It is transmutation magic, and it's not the pool itself. It's the water that's radiating magic. Your guess is, as you guys look at this, and Ilindar, do you want to do is that your spellcraft?
Yeah, that's my spellcraft.
All right, so you're just like, well, I don't know about this, and Gatto says, well, it could be that it's a temperature control magic for the water. And he sort of reaches in and he stirs the water a little bit around, and he's like, yeah, this water is warm when it shouldn't be. It should be room temperature.
All right. Okay, next.
You've discovered a hot tub time machine.
Yep.
Dive in. All right, that's the prison room with cells in it. That's where the Crusaders were being held. The next room up was the room
being dissected.
Right, where that room was where they were being dissected. But as you can see, all that stuff that was there, the table and the heads and all that stuff is all gone.
They had a cleaning crew in.
Yeah, Mr. Wolf showed up. If I'm curt, forgive me.
And this was where the crab things were, right?
That's where the crab thing. So it's a big room, and you can see that like sort of not webbing so much, but like the nest material that's sort of elevated and attached to the walls and thing. That's all still there, but the ground, is completely cleaned up.
Do you want to climb through and see if there's anything up there, or just?
I search. Yep.
You're gonna climb up there?
That's like 20 feet off the floor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty high. You gonna climb up there and get up in there?
I'll try climb.
All right, give me a climb check. What'd you roll?
God, I was looking for a baby monster for a familiar here.
It's too difficult. Never mind.
It's too difficult. All right.
Okay.
Ilindar, you do notice as you're sort of panning around with detect. You can do detect magic all the time, right?
Yeah.
So you do notice that there is something small but magical up in that webbing, up in that nest.
Back there. Try again. If you
Can someone else try to climb?
Boost you up.
I got good climbing skill.
Do you?
Yep.
Who's this?
This is Fletcher.
Yeah, go for it.
Holy crap,
Pretty-
dude.
yeah, you scramble up there. And with Gato is right on your heels too, so it's actually not that hard of a climb to get up there. And once you get up in that stuff, it's pretty easy to sort of pull yourself in. And it is very much like a nest. You kind of have to walk around, but it does hold your weight. Ilindar is like, over that way. No, to your left. It's right there. Look down. And you look down, and it's almost invisible because of the nature of the nest with it. That's made out of these like fibers and stuff like that. But you can see that there is what looks to be some sort of wand, perhaps, sort of jammed in, sort of in the thing. It almost looks like it's there as an afterthought.
Okay, grab and bring it down.
Found it. Got it.
Okay.
Bring it down.
There's also a small bag. 2 small bags.
Grabbing it.
Okay.
Not telling them.
Okay.
I was there.
Okay. Hey, Fletcher, here, you take this bag. I'll hand the wand to Ilindar because I'm all about sharing everything with the party.
You'll hand him the one bag.
Huh?
He gave one to me, and he's
Hand him
saying
one
he's going
bag?
to give the other one to
Were
you.
there 2 bags?
2 bags.
Two
I give them
bags.
both to him. I give him
Okay.
both bags. There. I grab the wand. When I get down, I make a big show of handing it to Ilindar.
I'm just a caravan guard. Seriously.
I'm just a caravan guard.
Blah, blah, blah.
He doesn't want to be Farinaed is the problem.
Kind of forgot Fletcher was right next to you, didn't you?
Yes, I did. For a brief second, I did.
Kind of forgot.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We're not going in there.
Yeah, let's not go in there. There is a secret door that goes, a hallway that goes behind it, but I didn't go very far down there.
Let's go that way. Where was that at?
Follow me.
They pass you like, hi guys, how's it going?
Where are you going?
This
Oh.
far before.
So you go
Oh.
past, and Don, you recognize that one room as sort of like the.
Yeah, I don't tell him.
Like, okay.
But he recognizes it.
Okay, come on, Gato.
What happened there anyway? Come on, man. You were there for 10 minutes doing nothing. Nothing.
We're going to start calling him Spoonwar.
All right. So
Excellent.
Ilindar.
Check for secret doors in here.
All right.
This is a little alcove area. Check in here.
I'm also checking. It's a general perception trap for traps and secret doors and whatever.
Okay. You do not see any traps or secret doors.
Okay. Keep going.
Hey, Les,
Okay, I'm stopping here. There's a door.
I have,
Yep, there's
I
a
have
door
that
there.
feet trap spotter.
Yep.
So just a reminder of that.
Okay, I check for traps on the door, and then if you can, open it up.
So 25 for traps.
No traps as far as you can tell.
Is it locked?
It is locked.
Oh, cool. I'm excited now.
We found a locked door. Hooray.
23 to disable the lock.
No problem. You get it unlocked pretty easily.
Okay.
Do we want the rest of the... Oh, too late. Okay.
All right. There's there's a room in here. There are 2 long cabinets, one on the north wall, one on the east wall, and there are pegs on the walls that have cloaks and robes hanging from them. Perception check, Gato. Secret door right here.
What?
Secret door right. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Hold on. Sorry.
About to say.
Right where you can't see it. It's so secret.
Right on the bottom to the going to the west. Yeah, right there in front of you. There's a secret door right there.
Hey, I think you should look for secret doors.
Okay, I can't find any. You
I'll
guys
give
go
you
ahead.
guys to
I'll
the
be
You guys go ahead and go back.
right
I'll
there.
be there in a second.
Ooh, Otto's here at least.
And then Otto walks in and gives
Okay,
you
here's the
his
secret
look.
door, guys. I found it.
Found it.
It's amazing. Otto looks just like Farina as Otto looks up at you.
Yeah. Open the secret door.
All right. So you go in there.
Is there anything magical in this room?
No, the robes and cloaks and stuff, no.
Okay.
But your magic sense goes off when Gato gets that door open. That whole room radiates magic. This area is entirely lined with lead. There's a lead coating on every wall. And on that coating is inscribed countless tiny abyssal prayers and runes. And these runes constantly sweat and reabsorb this weird black liquid. The magic you're detecting is the runes, and they radiate strong magic.
Is there anything else in the room?
They also
Identify
emit
what that
a
is?
low sort of drone, like.
Is there anything in here?
No, just these walls. I mean, there's. Hold on a second.
That's the sound
like
of
the-
phantasm. That's a horrible sound. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like those like little benches are next to it, but the walls are sort of thing. There is also on this one right to the south, that wooden thing. There are these capture mechanisms, and some of that black liquid that's coming out of the runes is getting captured and funneled into vials. Now, one of the vials is overflowing, and it's sort of spilled all over everywhere. It's not all over everywhere, but it's like sort of spilled on the table. The others are filling up. It fills up very slowly. So there are like 3 little capture vials there. One is completely empty. One is about 3/4 of the way full, and the other one is overflowed.
With an 18, can I figure out what this is or what this might be?
The stuff,
Yeah.
you're not sure, but it radiates a lot of necromancy magic.
I'm going to message to Storm and say, hey, can you tell Bardos that I've got something I think he needs to look at?
Gato, you're starting to not feel so good. Give me
I'm leaving.
a fortitude save.
I'm leaving.
Okay, you still got to give me a
What do you
fortitude
gotta do?
save.
Fortitude save.
All right. You're starting to feel a little like you couldn't breathe. Like energy was passing out of you.
Yeah, I don't like that room, guys. I think that's where he made these bombs.
The bombs?
The people, at least. I don't know. I just don't like that room.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything fun for us anyway.
Like I said, I'd like Bardos to come take a look at this.
I'll go get Bardos.
The
Hey,
store where you're at.
Yeah. Storm basically will tell you just to start walking up this way down that hall, and you'll eventually get to him.
I just follow it. Yep.
Okay. I'll take a look, Liz. Necromancy is an excluded school for me, so if it's necromancy, I'm not going to know much about it.
Well, Ilidar will tell you that he did detect magic and detected the school, and it is necromancy. So yeah, you're not sure what this stuff is. It's like a black liquid that's coming out of the runes on the walls. The walls are made of lead. You recognize that. So whatever this room was specifically designed, whatever effect that started to make Gato sick, it is the lead. You think the lead is there to capture it and make sure that it doesn't permeate further. Then the lead is covered with these runes, and these runes are sort of weeping this black liquid, where on one of the walls, most of the time it's coming out and then getting sucked back into other runes. Like a rune up here will emit a couple of drops of the liquid that begin to roll down, and then another rune will like suck it back in. But on the south wall, there's like a mechanism where it's like capturing some of this liquid in these 3 vials. Whatever it is, it started to make, within about 10 seconds, it started to make Gato sick.
Yeah, Bartos will say, I don't know what this is, but we need to leave one of those bombs in this room when we leave.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, if there's no other way to go, then there's only one way to go back. So
We have southwest. There was another room, but that's it.
Well, you guys haven't gone at all southwest.
right.
I did, and I stopped because I got yelled at.
Yeah, that was
I
me.
got yelled at. Okay.
That was me. Like I said, I didn't want an encounter when we're all spread apart and not ready for it.
All right. So before you guys go towards the area where you think maybe Vang had his labs and his quarters, have you got more questions or any questions really for the fly guy?
Yeah.
Fly guy.
Bardos was probably asking those while the rest of us were running around, but
Okay. So we can.
yeah.
So I'll talk to the fly guy and tell him, let's try a different tact in communication. I'm going to ask yes/no questions, and just blink your eyes once for yes, twice for no.
So he's got big fly eyes.
So
Remember,
only blink one of them.
I don't blink.
They don't blink.
Of the 800 eyes you have, only blink one of them.
They don't blink. Yeah, he's got fly eyes.
Raise your left wing for yes and your right wing for no.
Okay.
Can you do that?
He nods. Or well, he raises his.
He blinks.
He blinks.
He blinks.
Left wing for yes, right wing for no. He raises his left wing.
Okay. Is Vang
Left or our left?
is Vang still in this keep?
He shrugs and then raises his right wing. That's no.
Right.
Don't tell us.
Is this where I was held captive when I was?
Like in this room?
No.
Or in-
Is this castle where I was held captive?
Yes.
There are definitely places that I've not seen.
Well, as far as you can remember, the places where you were held, you guys haven't entered yet.
Right.
You haven't seen any places that you immediately recognize. You're like, well, maybe that place, that kind of stuff. But you don't. The places that you remember best from being here, you have not seen again. You haven't seen yet.
Okay. Can I teleport into the room that you're in?
He shrugs again and raises his left wing.
Is left yes or no?
Left is yes, right is no.
Okay.
Will that activate the trap, the bombs? If I don't cross the threshold?
At first, he raises. So if at first he raises his right wing, yes, and then raises his left wing. So think about what you asked. So you essentially asked two questions at once. You said, if I teleport into the room, will that how did you say it? It was like, will that trigger the trap? And then comma, set off the bombs.
And so he answered what to what?
Yes first, and then no.
Yes, it'll set off the trap, but no, it won't do the bombs.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
That's what he
Maybe
said.
the bombs are a decoy. The bombs might not be anything.
Oh, yeah, why has all this stuff in a convenient carry bag?
I'll turn around and look at Gatto and raise an eyebrow and if he has anything to say to me.
Can we knock down a wall and come in? Will that trigger it?
I hand you a golden vial.
Okay. Is that the substance that mutates?
We don't know what it does really. We think that's what it does.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows what that is.
How did you get that? That is the Nihydrian distillation. How did you get that?
We're special.
Doesn't really matter at this point. We just are trying to figure out if we can use it against Vang.
Gatto reaches his hand out to take it back and put it back in his haversack.
I don't know if it can be used against Vang or not, but the fact that you have it, it's an incredibly powerful tool.
Tool for what? For evil, basically, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, but I'm not supposed to drink it.
Yeah, whatever you do.
Yeah, Erastil said you're not supposed to drink that. Nobody's supposed to drink that. But he will say, he was like, that is the distillation that is used to grant incredible powers to demons and other creatures. Fang has perfected the process. That is the most recent. The earlier experiments were in many cases complete failures. Either destroyed the subjects or granted them powers that were far too large for their bodies and spirits to contain, and they exploded in magical energy. In that distillation, that is the latest and most safest version of the Nihydrian serum that exists. You have a hugely valuable thing there.
You found that in the demon's room, right, Les? The one that lied to us, the female that was actually a demon?
No, you did not find that there. Gatto found that.
Oh, when he was doing nothing?
When I was, yeah.
Where'd you find that?
I assume that's a question
In
for
this
you,
room?
Gatto.
This is a question for Gatto.
In this room?
And that room's cleaned out now, right?
No.
Well, you guys have gone in there. I mean, it's got like a bunch of weapons and stuff in it.
Okay, so in this room there is
Gatto's the only person that has gone in that room.
Okay. Well,
there is a forge in here that is permanently hot and can be used for things. This room seems like it's a crafting room. There are many weapons that seem to be have been forged in this room and everything. The only real thing of importance, I think, was this vial that was in a chest, heavily padded and protected. All the other chests were empty.
So is there any magic in here if I detect magic?
Yeah, there's a fair amount of it.
Tons.
Yeah.
Tons.
So have you been having it heavily protected and wherever?
No, he's just letting it
Yes.
clank around in his backpack.
No. I have a handy haversack that is an extra dimensional space. I've been wrapping it up carefully and putting it in there.
Okay.
Except for in some cases taking the occasional sip.
Yeah.
When
So
starts
Stay on the Ipsay.
hair and horns, then we'll know what's going on.
what's magical in this room then?
The forge, the weapons, some of the armor.
Okay. We put in a bag or something everything that's magical in here.
Do you have
Well-
a big bag?
Yeah.
If weapons have been corrupted or armored by the Nihydrian crystals, I wouldn't say we should use them. I mean, they're
Well, a lot of these are like halberds from the anti-paladins.
Yeah, they're just magical weapons.
Well,
say
some
from
of them may not be just magical. Some of them may be evil.
from the personal forge of Mub.
So the northern rack holds two glaives, which you immediately recognize as being the exact sort of glaive that the Templars use.
They use, yeah.
And there is a long sword there, which radiates magic as well. On the southern rack, this looks like an area where there was weapons waiting for repairs. So there's a broken glaive of the kind. Another one that looks a little different, also a glaive, but it looks a little different, also broken. And on top of the rack, in a couple of different pieces with a big chunk taken out of it, is a dagger, which also radiates magic. And then the forge itself radiates pretty significant magic.
Okay, I can't fit the forge in my bag of holding, but I'm pretty sure I can fit the weapons in there.
Okay.
Well, these are, I mean, a lot of them, I mean, are you sure you want to take them? I mean, they could be evil.
Go for it. I don't care.
Okay, Flash Heart, are any of these weapons evil?
I'll mosey down to respond to Ilandar's request.
The only one, so the forge itself doesn't radiate evil.
Right here.
Yeah, up into that one room. So the forge itself doesn't radiate evil. but you recognize the two repaired glaives and one of the broken glaives as being those same kind of glaives that the Templars look, and they're covered with Baphometian symbols and shit like that. The longsword over on the north rack is definitely evil, and the broken dagger is evil. But the one of the glaives, the other glaive that's broken, is not radiate evil, and it does not have the Baphometian symbols on it. It's a glaive, and it's in large part the same kind of shaped glaive that they use, but in this case, it doesn't radiate evil, but it is broken.
It does
I'll point out
radiate magic.
I'll point out selections of which ones are the evil ones
Okay.
for him to pick from.
Let's
It's
somehow mark them, but we should take them all.
It's basically everything's evil except for that one glaive.
So that's interesting. Why is this one glaive not evil? I think that's the only one you want to take then.
No,
I'll
he
take
takes
all
all
of
of
them
them.
because I don't want someone else using them.
Well,
Well, you guys are
Okay.
about 30 linear feet from the biggest bomb you've ever seen.
So we can leave them buried.
Mhm.
Take the good
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
I mean, if that's a fact, I mean, you can take them if you want.
Okay, we'll just take the non-evil one.
I'm sure
Just
using
for
these
further
weapons would
examination.
have a pernicious effect on your alignment.
Les said it was broken, but maybe there's something to it. Remember, we came across that other forge where they were corrupting good weapons or allegedly corrupting good weapons.
I've got feats. I've actually got.
Well, so there's also a lot of that table is full of like
Crafting tools.
crafting tools,
I
alchemy
think. I'm not
stuff.
sure. I don't know. I didn't
Yeah,
look.
other masterwork tools. There's probably 100 pounds of reagents and crafting supplies. This basically is a pretty solid magical weapon lab. They were building and they were making and repairing magical weapons here.
I've got.
I just want to point out that the fact that all of this stuff is still here proves that I didn't loot.
Except for the potion of non-hydrogen
Shut up.
crystals.
Oh, you have a
You
hand-
just tried to steal right in front of me.
if you had a bag of holding, you would have looted the shit out of this place. But
Yeah.
This day
You
and
have
age,
to leave enough behind so they don't suspect you. I mean, if I were someone like that, I would leave enough behind so they didn't suspect me.
Fortunately, we have Farina, so we always suspect you.
Yes.
For the 10th time, I detect evil on
I try to be optimistic.
Gato.
on Gato. Just double checking one more
I
time.
hold up a lead shield every time you do.
he's only a little evil.
Yeah, that's fine. I can live with a little evil.
after
I'm not evil.
It's like salami for cats. It's okay to be a little evil.
I got a question before we leave. It's after 11, but I want to.
Oh, geez, I didn't even realize. I thought we were gonna. Okay.
So
I'm
the
dying
black
over here.
said what he said. So my next question to him is, the bombs are not the trap, is what you're saying?
Left wing goes up.
All right.
It's
So
true.
there's actually another trap going on. The bombs are the distraction.
It's probably that one glaive we just picked up. It was all to drive us to that. It's actually
If they're foolish
shapeshifted,
enough to put this glaive inside a bag of holding.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a shapeshifted
question.
Xanthar Vang.
So does this bag actually have anything of value to us?
Left wing goes up.
Oh, yeah, the bag does, yeah.
Yeah, not a hesitation at all. The bag, it has. He's already said the bag, and he can speak now. He'll say, "Look, the bag has. This bag contains a lot of documents and maps pertaining to the movements and activities of World Wound military forces
Also a journal.
all around the World Wound." And some documents that are plans. This would be, he would say this would be invaluable to the Crusaders. He goes, I also put in the bag the copy of one of Vang's journals that I made as an insurance, as sort of an insurance policy, which frankly wasn't enough. He doesn't know about it, but I never got the opportunity to use it to help secure my freedom.
Let me ask this, Fly Guy. If I levitate the bag and you and pass you across the threshold the opposite way out of the room, will that activate the trap?
Left wing goes up.
What if you levitate him in the chair he's sitting in?
He's magically manacled to the desk.
Yeah, the desk.
Yeah. Can I ask you this? Is the bag trapped?
Yeah, how about if I just do the bag and do that through the threshold?
So his right wing goes up, but he says, I don't think that will work because a levitate spell doesn't allow side-to-side motion, only up and down.
No, not levitate. It's actually
Telekinesis.
telekinesis. I can move
This
it.
fly guy, this flight I just did. Actually,
He shrugs, and then his left wing goes up. He's not sure, but he thinks that might work.
So I might not be able to save him, but I might be able to get the bag out of there without making the true trap spring.
So he pretty much said
I'll
the
step out of
bombs
it.
are not the trap.
Then he, as you say that, he's like, yeah, he shakes his head, and his right wing goes up.
Maybe it has to do with the manacles. You know, the ones that he's released from the manacles because they're magic.
Well, I mean, the manacles are him. I'm trying to separate the bag from him and to see if I can get the bag out of the room.
Well, it sounds like you probably can, but I'm just trying to save him too because that's kind of the deal. He got you.
wait, no, we're not trying to save him. He's as evil, a willing co-conspirator, right to the point that he was double betrayed.
Yeah.
Right?
He's not in jeopardy. He's just going to go back to the abyss if he gets blown up.
Yeah, he won't. He won't get permadeath if he gets blown up and crushed in here. He'll be sent back to the abyss.
You know, Flashheart always has a soft spot to talking to willing demons, but this guy's got to die.
So
He seems okay with that.
I guess the reason I ask is not because I love evil bad guys. It's just because if he can set off the trap, if we don't hold up our end of the deal, which is, you know, at one point we were talking about freeing him and the bag.
At least I recall, at least that was the way I recall when he first talked to us, he was resigned to his fate. He's trying to help us out if we can figure out how to get the bag without bringing the.
he wants to help us so we can kill Vang.
He's not trying to help us. He's just trying to get revenge on Vang.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to him?
Okay.
So Les, I'm confused.
So
Left and right wings.
Just say yes or no.
Left is yes,
Yeah, okay.
right is no.
No more left rights. Just yes or no.
Actually,
we're
let's
gonna
need
get
to
our
get a puppet.
code right.
Right is
Show us
wrong.
what the puppet says.
Use puppets.
yeah, I'll just say yes or no.
Okay, so ask your questions again, Gordon.
So if I levitate the bag and pull it out of the room, will that activate the true trap, the runes?
Yes.
Left wing.
Yes.
Stop, Don.
Yeah, it's
Okay. And we said, and you did ask him, is
So-
true trap the bombs? And he said no, right?
well, so yeah, and that may be misleading. The bombs are the bombs. So I'm thinking of, so there's two things. So there's the trap that you guys are asked Erastil about. Those are the bombs. So the trap that Erastil was referring to during the yes or no questions, that you were going to be able to see but not sure that you could deactivate. Those are the bombs. The door and what's going on in this room is the trigger. So I hope that sort of those runes on the door are is what triggers the bombs somehow. Yes, it is after 11 if you guys want to stop. Or if you want to stay
More
on.
questions in email?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Or if you want to stay on and I can answer questions, it'll be on the video and I can transcribe them later or something.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to know that Gatto Don with. I mean,
Can we get a rascal on the line for another 87 questions?
Well,
We can try it.
Gatto's gonna sign off for the night because he's got to work in the morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
so do I. So I'll see you guys
Right,
later.
All right. Well, we can start here next time.
Okay.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Awesome.
Everybody.
Night,
you guys.
guys.
See you guys.
Great game, Les.
Thanks. I'll check you all later.
Toodles.